Steve, I don't know if you get me, but it's like we don't get no audio from you. So I think you gotta check. Check. We don't get you too we don't even getting you. Steve. Okay, anyway, let me just take this break.
I think I should be good. Maybe you hear me?
Good. Check again. Check. Check.
Melbourne, you can hear me now?
Yes. Yes, but check it up a little bit. Check it up. If you getting me, then you gotta check up.
My man, I can hear you, my man.
All right, good.
I can hear
Good,
that.
good.
I can hear that your ugly voice.
I say my entire voice today is not easy. My voice gone. I don't know for what reason. Maybe it's because of the I don't know Arsenal game. But how be it? Thank God. If you getting me now, then we good to go.
Yes, Melbourne, just uh give me 1 second. Let me check on something here quick. While you are
All right, good. Yes. So in all right, good. So, folks, we want to say a wonderful good evening to all of you, our dear channel listeners, especially those of you that are always burning your batteries and all your data, in making sure that, yes, indeed, you follow all of our programs, the SKTV show every day, back to back. Indeed, you are the real deal. You are the real king. You are the real queen. Thanks always for your support. So, indeed, today Sunday, having to be the third Sunday, and for a matter of fact, there are a lot of churches that are celebrating Mother's Day on today. So please, if you just joining us, we want you to like, comment, and share, especially for those of you that view us through the SKTV LRB Facebook page. Please, we are appealing to you. Sorry though, I don't know what happened, but when you are between the co and sometimes you become the newest baby father, it's not easy. So I don't know, but I'm working on my yes on the core that is really the core really want to take my voice away, but I'm still fighting hard to make sure that I fight the core. So please share the show, like and comment. At least that's the best thing to do. Even though Steve is working hard so that some of you can hear the new baby father, but you get me. Don't mind Steve. Anything you do, I just waste of time. Is he still not come again? I'm not getting him. So I don't know what Business Monk. Business Monk.
Melbourne, my man, you can hear me now?
Good. I get you now.
Yeah. Monk, my man, welcome to the show, Monk. What's up?
What's up, guys? I'm hearing feedback. I don't know where it's coming from. I think it's you or Melbourne.
Check your app again. Are you still hearing it?
Monk, you sounding far from the phone.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead. I'm getting you. Yeah.
No, then it should be from Melbourne.
All right, so let me log out and come back in and see as to what things going to be like. Thank you.
Yeah, when Melbourne is
Yeah,
speaking,
Monk, what's up, man?
when Melbourne is speaking, it can sound so clear, but then when I'm talking, I'll be hearing the feedback. You can hear me, do?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you much better. The feedback is not.
Yeah, the feedback is not as intensive as it was.
Yeah. But we'll have the chairman on with us today. You already know what time it is. Huh?
Chairman Bility?
Yeah. So thank God he's from the House of Representatives. So we can have the discussion today. Monk, did you get that stuff we talk about? That was to your WhatsApp?
Yeah, I got that stuff. I kind of skim over a little bit. The proposed borrowing plan You know,
Yes.
we got a cartel that runs that country.
Wo- wo-
I was just reviewing the information, and it's more than you would think that it's bad. You want to look at the one that says, hold on 1 second here.
we'll get a chairman on to discuss it too
Yeah.
as well. Folks, share the show.
You want to see the one that gave you the public debt service for fiscal year 2024. When we're talking about servicing of the debt, we're talking about the interest payment and the principal that were borrowed both domestically and internationally. You know, the total Labrador current debt stands at $2.3 billion. And I keep asking myself, how is it able to accumulate a domestic debt of $1 billion? 43% of the total debt in comparison to the external debt, most of which came from the IMF and the World Bank, to the tune of 56% of the overall debt stack of $2.337 billion US. I want to know how we can accumulate $1 billion in debt domestically right in Liberia. How?
My man, don't get a chairman clue. Don't rush. The chairman coming on. Good thing he's a representative and he's one of the leaders there. We to the they show. Look, y'all share the show, folks. The show will be hot. Let me tell you right now. We're waiting for the chairman. The show will be hot today. And we're not low. Let me tell you that thing. You know, the good thing is today that's Sunday and at the day of the law. We're not here to whatever. We're not here to joke. We're not joking yet. We need to understand what's going on in our country. Those of you who come in with your supporting mentality and your press and worship mentality and your sycophantic mentality, we will have no issues with you. But you will hear the truth. You will sit down here and your heart will burn because we tell you the truth. Just so you know that. So if you think that we come here to come be on funny level, then we're not on funny thing. We're not on no funny level. We are going to discuss the issue. We are going to discuss the issue, and you know, I mean, I ain't want to get started. It's only too young to get started with what it go. But I know for a fact that the show will now be for fun today. We will discuss these issues. We will bring them to the public, and the Liberian people will become aware of it. Whatever they want to do with the information, I want it up to them. But we'll bring it to the public. We will bring it to the public and be on record on the show. If you think we are playing Nyaka or we are for thinking you're wasting your time. Yeah, they see how we tired. They see why we talk tired. How you will listen and come here and get very tired. You can and I says yes. The child say, "Man, a second, we there." Who tells us we give up? Yeah, but go ahead.
I say indeed, the job of SKTV to give you the information is up to you to do whatsoever you choose to do with that information.
Yeah.
But just because you want to play defense for your political party or political leader, it's not going to change our motto here. We will do what we need to do. We'll be on the record. We'll be vindicated by history that when those pressure movement came in Liberian history, we were there on the front line saying exactly what needed to be said. Whether you take it, whether you leave it, whether you ignore them, that's up to you. At least we made our fair share of the bargain in terms of giving out the right information and holding the government accountable. That's it.
Yeah, maybe one really quick before we get into other news. My man, at the time, what's going on? I know you went to church today. If I'm mistaken, let me know. And we'll get into international news real quick. But give a call real quick. What's up, man?
Yeah, thank you, Steve, and other Brazilian monk. Today is Sunday, having to be the test Sunday, and there are a lot of citizens who are Christians today. We're seeing in various churches or places of worship, and mind you, the modern day programs still continue. So today, some churches also have their modern day program on today, or maybe as we speak, maybe it's still ongoing because you know some people like to do things a little bit late. So yes, we are good back home. Everything here is good. We are quiet and the weather condition is good and we're all moving about freely and everything apart from when it comes to sports, especially entertainment, the football, the Lone Star Honor 17 girls team today beat Sierra Leone Honor 17, and that's the latest news that coming up from the sports side. And also when it comes to the other news, I know that you were talking about that, but also the European League today also catch our attentions, and there are a lot of Liberians who are also supporting both sides, be it Man City or Arsenal. And today, Manchester City was able again to walk away with the trophy for the 4th time in row. And so, yes, those who are supporting Manchester City, they are celebrating. Why? Other who are also if are supporting Arsenal, they are, even though they are a little bit disappointed, but some of them are happy because at least they will say their team is sitting at spot number 2. So far so good. These are some of the happening. We don't really have any major happening apart from the planned protest that will be on tomorrow, coming from the motorcyclists. Indeed, mind you that the motorcyclists continue to send out a warning or a caveat out there that in fact if government not come to maybe one understanding with them on the restrictions placed on them, they're going to protest on tomorrow. And so we're waiting. We are about to go to bed maybe tonight, and tomorrow morning we'll wake up. How things going to be like? We're going to inform our people. So far so good. These are happening. The motorcyclists are planning a possible protest on tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much, Newborn, for the update. Let's get to other news. That's even interesting that we're talking about a motorcyclist planned protest tomorrow. We'll get into that because that's local news, but let's get to international other news. In Kinshasa, that's in Congo. Apparently, we woke up this morning to an attempted coup in the Republic of Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and about 50 people were killed, including 3 American citizens arrested. This is very, very interesting, unfolding in Congo, an attempted coup that did not materialize. And so this is emanating from Africa, right in Africa, in Congo. That's where this is emanating from. In other news also around the world, in America here, President Donald Trump will be debating former President Donald Trump will be having a debate with President Joe Biden coming up here very, very soon, sometimes next month. They've agreed to CNN's request to have a debate, and we'll follow that debate on SKTV. Both men are gearing up. They're throwing jabs on each other already. The momentum, the noise, or whatever it is. But the good thing about it is, I was reading some of the rules of the debate. There will be no cross-talking. They will focus on the issue. When one person is speaking, they will mute the other person's mic so that the debate is issue focused. So I look forward to hearing. I know President Donald Trump will have a lot to say in regards to the economy, foreign policy, and so forth. I'll listen to Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney ran against. He's the senator of Utah. I think he's the senior senator of Utah. He used to be senator in Massachusetts back in the days, but then he left Massachusetts, moved to Utah, became senator there. He was the Republican nominee for the presidency, I think in 2011, 2012 or 2011, between the 2012. He ran against Obama and he lost. But Mitt Romney, I believe, is a formidable force. He's part of the Republican Party. He's yet to decide who he will throw his support behind. I listened to the interview, and he used a political term saying that Donald Trump, President Joe Biden should have pardoned Donald Trump to show that he's the bigger boy in this thing. So I listened to a couple of pundits and I read a couple of articles saying that he couldn't have done that because this man has not gone through the court to be adjudicated. In other words, he has not gone through the court so that the case can go through. But interestingly, so these are some of the things that are unfolding in the United States. Monk, what say you, my man? Any international news that caught your attention or that? What say you, Monk?
So, Steve, I don't know whether you're following the news. Rescue team search for Iran's president after helicopter crash. That's the latest news.
Yes. Yeah, Monk, go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's one of the news I was following this morning from Iran. Their foreign minister and the president was in a helicopter crash. I know they are just stage managing it because that's the Arab War and it's a whole different thing when it comes to information. So they are not yet announcing that they are there. They just said fear missing. And the other thing that caught my attention yesterday was the Center for Disease Control, the ex-director, or they call him Robert Redfield. He's talking about calling for he was on this how they call him, the Chris Como show yesterday, and we're talking about COVID-19 because the whole COVID-19 was more of a scam in the lie. And they are noticing that young people are being affected, people that should be in the prime of their life. And he himself saying he experiencing some side effect of the COVID issue that people raise. Matter of fact, a criminal investigation was already filed against Dr. Anthony Fauci by the how they call it, guy Rand Paul, because he lied on an oath to Congress about the origin of the COVID-19. So the ex-director of CDC is pushing that they should open a 9/11 star commission to investigate Anthony Fauci and this current administration about the origin of the COVID-19, because it seemed to be that the skepticism that people have from the beginning of this virus, they are coming to fruition, that the National Institute of Health, they were the one that financed the something they call the gain of function research that came from a laboratory in China, but the lie that it came from a market, from a wet market, spontaneously, and people are getting to get the facts, and they are calling for a 9/11 star commission to probe this entire administration and the handling or the origin of the COVID virus. So we are here, we're watching. The customer or conspiracy theory, but the conspiracy theories always seem to be right in this country these days. So we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, but Mark, it's also interesting that I was reading this morning. I was reading early this morning that there's also a surge in the new COVID variant in the United States.
Oh yeah.
And the CDC is also looking into that. There's a new COVID variant or whatever it is, and this seem to be, again, I could be wrong, right? Close to elections, the surges were in different states and so forth. So this is quite interesting, very, 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 very interesting. So I really don't know, what to say or how to go about it. We'll see, like you said, we'll see what happens. We'll see what's going on from that end. But I want to talk a little bit about the Iran issue before we get to Liberia. The president and the you said the foreign minister. Yes, I saw it briefly, but I thought it was just I thought it was just a joke or whatever. I didn't even delve into it. But this is coincidental, considering Iran was just engaged into a conflict with Israel.
Who knows?
Yes. So this is I don't know. I'm not trying to create conspiracy here, but the truth of the matter, these things don't look mutually exclusive. What say you?
It's kind of funny because they got people who like to control information. The whole thing of a conspiracy is the main conspiracy. The world we live in now, when things are happening, people don't want for you to apply critical thinking. They want for you to go with the mainstream narrative. Once you cannot accept a mainstream narrative, then it means you are a conspiracy theory. Because when somebody hears the word conspiracy theory, they believe that it's somebody with some far-fetched idea that living in a different universe. But it's just critical thinking. People question things, and you just said it. You in a conflict with Israel in the heat of a war, and we all know Iran is a proxy for everything happening in the Middle East, from the Houthis rebel in the backyard of the Saudis. We all know that Iran support Hezbollah in Lebanon. They even control the government. They were the one that killed more U.S. forces in Iraq as compared to Iraqi forces. We know they are the one that support Hamas. So if you are in a confrontation with Israel and all of a sudden a helicopter just crashed with your president and the foreign minister on board, it makes logical sense to raise suspicion. It could be a mission by the Israeli, by the Jewish state. Matter of fact, they just killed one of your prominent generals. So it's not far-fetched, but when you say this thing, some joker will come from nowhere and call you a conspiracy theory. And that's the world we live in today, that you shouldn't apply critical thinking. You cannot question things. It's the same thing you saw with the COVID. You looking at people giving you lies that is not backed by science. But the moment you raise a red flag, oh, he's a conspiracy theory. You want to tell me that you got businesses in America. The vast majority of America economic strength lies in small businesses. You're telling me that you are fighting a virus, that you're going to shut down an economy to fight a respiratory virus, that we can stand 6 feet apart from each other. We can go to the liquor store, but we can go in the airplane and sit less than 1 inch from each other. That you will shut down Malay Chinese buffet, the little barber shop in the neighborhood. You're going to shut down the little Indian man that got a attire or a tea shop, but somehow Walmart and the Costco and the big retailers can remain open. Then how can you tell me that you are fighting a virus? We all knew it was a lie, because these big businesses, they got lobbyists, they got money, so the goal was to shut down small business so they can make excess profit. But we all know, but you cannot say this thing when you say somehow you are considered a conspiracy theory. That's the new normal in America and all over the world. You cannot question things. If Melbourne is talking nonsense that don't make sense, that cannot be backed by something, I just supposed to accept it because I got to be in the group. I cannot question things. That's it.
So are you referring to the term that Donald Trump would normally use in his own words, politically correct?
Oh yeah.
You have to be politically correct and fall in line.
People want to be politically correct. They just want to be on the right side. You know why it's happening is wrong, but you will not accept the fact because you want to be on the side that will prove to be politically correct. So if you question the status quo, then somehow you're from another planet. You are a fringe element. You are a conspiracy theory. You live in an alternate universe. That's the world we live in.
Yeah, in Liberia, instead of saying conspiracy theory, or instead of saying politically correct, in Liberia, they term it as you hate the government, you are jealous, you will talk tired, you're in opposition, and you hate this person, and you hate that other person. They brand you as the troublemaker, as the problem person. Honor President George Weah, they term you as enemy of the state.
Yeah.
Honor Jose Yuma Bwaga's government, they use reckless statement like you will talk tired, and we and all this foolishness. But today we'll bring to you guys, you agree, foolishness that you're running around with. You don't even understand that the future is being eaten right in front of you guys. We'll discuss the plan for this administration, what they have done. Imagine the men took over. Imagine the first thing the men took over, they collected 22 million United States dollars. They took it while they were warming up. Few days ago, they approved a budget. Yeah.
They were warming up. They took 22 million for the warm up.
They took 22 million to warm up inside. They finished warming up in the 22 million, and they passed a budget, almost 700,000. In the 700,000, they get a legislature in court. We're waiting for the chairman to show face. Chairman Musa Hassan Bility, Representative Chairman Musa Hassan Bility. We are pleased inviting the chairman for us to come and have a candid conversation because he's part of the legislative branch of government, and he's a leader there. You know that on SKTV, you know, this is the thing I love about this show. When our critics then come here and accuse us and say, oh, we Musa Bility buy us. Kumi buy the other person. Musa Bility do the one. Waiting for chairman. Today, we here with the chairman. They took 22 million and the chairman they approved that 22 million. We're coming to discuss all of that today. The chairman they approved 22 million for the men to warm up. Just to warm up, they even take CD, they were happy to take the 22 million. They took it. They carry greater, and the greater than to just greater the road. Then they tell you, say they finish building the road for the 2 million. You sit on there because you can't think for yourselves. You fell in line. Then they pass budget. No, let me say this before we get into some of the things that Melbourne said earlier. Let me say this to you. I want you to sit down. I want you to sit down in your life if you're listening to this radio. If you get anybody that knows small book or the webman paper or whatever it is, just as they say, how many $20 in 22 million? As they say, how many $20 can come from in 22 million? How many $5 can come from in 22 million? How many $10 can come from in 20? And that 22 million and that Liberian dollar, that United States money, 22 million. You sit down there, you get vexed. That the minute to 22 million, you checking. Then you can't get very well. Then again, the other day, they pass or Mog left. They pass the budget. The president left for America. He even can't to speak to you to say anything or to hear what's going on. The first thing soon he landed to the airport, they gave him budget to sign. He signed budget now. He signed the budget. But while he was signing the budget, you know what they were doing? They put in request for 40. Look, wait. More come on. They put in request to credit 400 million on your behalf. 400 United States dollar, million United States dollar. They say the 22 million that you're getting, you're stupid. That's what I told you.
So still 1 minute.
We
You
can be
know, we
getting
get
the
yes. You know, get our old folks that listen. So they want to really get the information clear. Break it down for when you finish with that now, when you want to, that way you can do that one. So please take your own time for our old folks. Tell them exactly what going on, who going to credit money, what they're going to credit from, who they're going to take the money from. Then we can move on that way.
No, we're getting to who they create the money for. We just warming up, brother. You know how the government, part of warm up with 22 million? Soon they take part the first thing. Soon Joseph Boga now finish inauguration speech. The first thing they did, they asked for 22 million. Can you imagine somebody who wake up from falling down asking for 22 million? The man who fall down, he wake up to ask for a help, wake up to ask for help money. You didn't see right in that country. But more, the protest, the motorcyclists, we said this on the show before, we predicted this, that this will lead to chaos, are threatening protests tomorrow, latest tomorrow. What say you, my man? What say you?
The protest in Liberia is nothing new. That just standard operating procedure in Liberia. My only fear is something we said yesterday on the show that the current administration should be very careful because people can weaponize these things. People, everything that happened in this world always happen with good intention, but there will always be people that will try to do it for the worst. They will weaponize it for their own interest, for their own benefit. And we keep cautioning the administration when it comes to policy issue and decision making. Walk of Thailand, try to unite the two parties. Just for optical reason, because I know a sedition would never be a unity party partisan. It will look like, but at least you try to create that kind of environment wherein people will feel that, the president is reaching across the aisle, reach out to opposition leaders, get them integrated into the system as well, get their advice and feedback from them, and create an open government. But we all know some of the steps that were taken recently from this the Bouakat administration. They mostly political, and so they themselves could be laying the groundwork for a protest that could be weaponized by all of the people on the other side who felt that they were taken from power and want to hit back. You can see it with the drugs. They're telling you, something that affects everybody, but they still want to play politics. They say, "Oh, George, you have brought Kush, and Joseph Boga brought Zombie." For them, everything is politics, and that's the problem with Liberia. Everything can have be politics. You see, one thing I learned from this country, right, in their democratic process. Melbourne, do you know in this country, right, when you pass in legislation, it does not matter. On certain issue, it does not matter whether you got more members in the House or not. Let's assume you got 50 senators, 100 senators in America because there are 50 states, 2 senators from each state, right? If the Republican has 70 senators and Democrat only have 30, when they are passing an immigration bill, Republican will not just have their will because they say, "Oh, we got more members." No, it must meet the consensus of the minority party, even though you have the number to pass that bill single-handedly. But there are certain legislation in America that need both party approval in spite of your numbers in the legislature. Tell you that the people's system is balanced. But in Liberia, everything is politics, even though it affects everybody. But for them to see it, Joseph Boga versus George Weah, CDC, Unity Party, that's how they see everything, which is a wrong way to proceed in a society. And we just keep getting worse and worse. It's not going to get any better.
What Monk? See, the first thing is before we get into the money part of this whole conversation, the first thing is the protests. And I'll have to agree with you to some extent that the issue of protests in Liberia started to decline, started to become a commercial thing instead of where people stand up for the rights and people, speak to the government that they are disenchanted, they're not satisfied with what's going on. Instead of it being that way, people started to use it as a political tool. And they started to use it as a money-making tool also. For example, during Ellen Johnson's lifetime, President George Weah there, Jefferson Koji there, and what the other one, what a former chairman named Moluba Molu there, who passing around talking about, I don't know what kind of yellow t-shirt and be having all they making laws in the country, talking about they standing for justice, they're standing for this. These guys used to go organize protests, only for them to get paid behind closed door. They put people, children at life, their life at stake. They bring the people, children outside. When they pay them behind closed door, then they go and shut up. You can say that a lot. Akara's going to admit it on the radio. He admitted it. They will carry them to Ghana and other places. Look, this is the level of deception is high. This thing started on the early leg government. Fast forward to Joseph to President George Weah, Henry Costa, Darius Dillon, Mo Ali, and the rest of the people you see bouncing around today. They collected money for the June 7 protests. These guys did that. And that's why Darius Dillon cannot man up to qualify Costa. Because all of them know what's up. They play these little games shamelessly, disgracefully. Look, sell the common people. They throw the common people out there. They act like they are standing for you. And guess what? They go behind closed door and negotiate. Some of the religious leaders were even involved into this. Bishop Cotto, I know Cotto, whatever he is. Bishop Cotto then, and they were sitting out doing a June 7 protest, calling and said they're having meeting. They call and said they're having meeting. Who goes to protest? You go and protest against somebody, you go sit down and have meeting. And you're having all the funny meeting there. You're having all the funny meeting there. You're scheduling all the things and positioning all the things. Look, protest is very important. It's powerful. And for me, quite honestly speaking, as long as I don't suggest, I don't suppose that politicians should be in charge of protests or should be running any protest. But when the common people, when the people who make the decision, when the people who the Constitution says, you know, the voice of the people, power is inherent in the people. When they decide to come out with a protest, whether simultaneously or however it is, guess what? I will support it 100%. When these political actors are in there, I don't want to be part of that because it's only meant as a political tool and to get money from the government. So if the motorcyclists decide that they will have protest throughout the country, I will support the motorcyclists 100%. And there is nothing wrong with protest. Protest does not bring war. That mentality you're getting, like, bro, when somebody will protest, it will bring war, it will do that. That's true. Protest does not bring no war. All the government in Nigeria, all of them protested. Even down to Ellen Johnson selling them were part of protest during Dotan. What are you talking? All of them protested. So nobody should make protest loaded. That's what trouble people take. If the motorcyclists is the only thing I would say to them clearly, you don't make it political, you don't bring politics in it. If you want for this particular deal to be rescinded, I saw Gregory Coleman writing funny thing there. Talking about they getting MPH, they might disinfect the one 3 times a day, disinfect that one. Are you giving it disinfectant? Somebody not get food to eat. You wasting your time telling them to disinfect? The government provided disinfectant to them. You telling them to buy 2 helmets. These boys barely make $10 a day, some of them. They're living on the bed. What sense does that make? What sense does that make? Where has the government come in and say, you know what happened? Y'all want to do that thing yet? No problem. We'll provide you a free helmet so you can carry on the other thing. It alleviates some of the thing on the people. But you put all the thing on the people who are even hustling to even get something to eat. And your salary then fat, you're in BBAC card, you're passing around. When you see someone, they say you want to hit them from on the road. The people are looking for smoking. And you can't impose all this economic problem on it. And you say, put my sit and say, oh, it's a safety issue. And so you lay all the rule and regulation that benefits you. Talking about them, do they want them, do that one. You didn't think about it. You didn't think about the health part of it. You didn't think about it, the part that people will get infection and other things. When we try to say here, you call your stooges, then you put phone card there, they come and insult us. You post a minute on the phone, they come and insult us. Why you didn't think about all of these things? Why you didn't implement this thing and put it in order and say, you know what I mean? We offer the first 2 helmets to each motorcyclist to ensure that they are in compliance. That's what government do to alleviate some of the things. In a country, the government provides, let me tell you something, the government buttresses the efforts of the people. For example, they'll provide you with loans or grants in order to run the businesses because they know that when the people are running their businesses, they will be able to pay back. You don't do that, but you just come and impose everything what we say. Then you say we're trying to let the people to turn against the government. What kind of rule you pass for your citizens there? Who made you benefit from it? The citizens there suffer. What kind of rule is that? What kind of rule is that? I just don't understand. So the motorcyclists then are you're telling them say they might pass around with 2 helmets. Okay, that's fine. Who provides the helmets? They might go register the motorbike, they might put insurance, they might buy the other suit, they might buy the other shoe or whatever it is. How much these guys are making? How much are these guys making that you are imposing all of these things on them? And then in the final end, you say they must do it at this time. What sense does that make? Is that how you treat your people? So they elected you, they brought you to power. so that you can come and impose your will on the people. This is unacceptable. This should not be done. You help the people too. That's what government is for. All the BB money, the 22 million in a few days. You're getting profile. You know what 22 million is? So yes, the motorcyclist has the right. They have the right to come and protest. And I will encourage them to come outside. I will encourage the motorcyclists to come outside in the numbers to stand against the foolishness. Look, if you don't do this and you ignore this, they're starting with the motorcyclists. I see people who in Texas and other places jumping around. These guys will devise another plan and go after another group of people. It's just starting. These guys are testing the water. They are testing the water. They are testing the water. They'll be bouncing around. And I saw someone I noticed from one of the PR, somebody who not in government, they call them consultant. Somebody I know nothing, they eating government money from government to government, they're passing around eating money, talking about how the rice price increase in the other place. So the rice price coming increase on the market. Then you put with that picture there, making it a little funny. Y'all ain't see nothing yet. Y'all ain't see nothing yet. And y'all wanted the government, y'all get the government. So Monk, I mean, the motorcyclists, to be quite honest, I'm with them. I don't know what you think. I'm with them.
So quickly, maybe before Monk come in, Steve, let me just chip in quickly because I think Monk already, maybe talk about that. But before transition, maybe you want to, but on a very serious note, I think you just said something that I've been talking, or in fact, I've been thinking about. Like I always say, right, Steve, the leaders are the problem. Like yesterday, I said that again yesterday on the radio. Someone said, no, maybe the voters, the 75% of the people. No, let me tell you, Steve, that system we get in this country after the war, this system we get here, my brother, even like for example, just see the CPP, they are at a suffering rally. How we're looking at what happened there? Money got missing. Look, so the people are the problem. They will use the citizen, with that because they feel that the citizens are struggling in poverty. So they will come, and brainwash them and make sure that they get what they want to get out of them. After that, they dump them. So that's just the kind of system that we are seeing here. So no matter what you say, my brother, the people, the only thing they can do is you're been talking about let the poor protest. Yes, they will protest, and you are talking about politicians not to go among them. Steve, you go up, you count down. Politicians will go among them. Let me tell you one of the reasons is because our people, they have been threatened every day and night. Even to extent that for me, if I protest for my own right, because the funny feel that maybe they're connected with you, they will tell you, say, Steve, we don't want to see Mabel or maybe no more at Truth FM. Call Musa Bility. Musa Bility was okay. What happened? All right, so he said that I'm going to suspend Mabel or maybe I'm going to take Mabel off the radio. And that's just the kind of trend that we've been seeing. People are going after people instead of them thinking about how the institution will get better, how the system will get better. No, but they prefer to fight you, take it from there when you speak out for your right. So, indeed, myself, I 100% support the motorcyclists because some of them explained to me that indeed, Mabel, we are not against the process. But there are few things, like for example, the insurance. Man, for God's sake, you have the police officer that are on the rain day and night that are not even sure into a motorcyclist. Steve, for God's sake. And you also talk about helmet. Yes, when you go and buy a motorbike, they will give you one helmet. When you buy brand new bike, they'll give you one helmet. So say you're talking about you want the motorcyclist to get maybe 2 helmets, then you say, okay, we will give the 200% helmets, or maybe 500% helmets. We'll give you jackets. We'll give you this. Because all of the process is cost something around 200 according to what they told us. That the entire process is around 200 USD. So if you've taken 200 USD for all of the men or for the motorcyclists, it got close to almost 20,000 motorcyclists. Do you know how much you're going to collect? And where that money going to go? So that's it. Go ahead, Visionary Monk.
Mark, are you there? I think Mark is caught up into something. Look, Milborn, let's just be honest and let's stop the fooling around and get serious as a nation. Let me tell you something. Government is for the people and by the people. In that sense, it means you do things that will help your people. For example, the 22 million that Joseph Boakai then took.
Sorry, guys. I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead, Monk. Please make your statement.
No, I'm done with the motorcyclist thing. I think I made my point. I know their protest will be politicized, but equally so, I said the government also laid a framework or the platform for this protest because we said it on the show. The whole system. You see, before you come up with a policy, there are certain things you got to do an assessment. You got to. They are why you see the women always do something called risk assessment. There is always a risk to every time you make a decision. So don't only look at the outcome. Calculate the risks first before you can look at the outcome. But in our country, we do the complete opposite. You want to make a crazy decision and then worry about the outcome. No, worry about the consequences first because the consequences is the most important thing. Yeah, you got a vision, you got a mind to do something, but equally so, what if it doesn't work? Where is the next step? Where is the contingency plan? You don't look at the risks, you always look at the potential outcome. No, that's the wrong way to proceed. Risk assessment, the first thing we teach you in school. So the president and the crew, I mean, it's up to them. That they are the one that run the show anyway.
So Mark, we started talking about the budget, but the government of Liberia has a plan to borrow for the fiscal year of. Hold on. They have a plan to borrow for this year. The government of Liberia has a plan to borrow to operationalize the government for this year through 2026. That's what it said. And they have the opening statement here. This document is about 14 pages long. The first concern, first of all, the first thing that got my attention is, and I really wanted the chairman to be on here or representative to be on here, has the legislature approved this request to borrow? Because they are the ones that, according to the Constitution we read here that day, they are the ones that can give the okay and the green light to the government to go and borrow. The government can't just go and borrow on their own. So the first question is, Monk, do you think the legislature, and these are also positions, right? We don't have the facts until maybe one of them can call in, or the representative / chairman Musa has some ability can come on, as we have invited him, can join us in the conversation. Did they approve this, first of all, before we even get into what they want to do, what they want? Do you think they have approved this? Monk, are you there?
Hello?
Yes. Do you think the legislature have approved this?
Well, it been approved, because don't forget, once the budget is approved, the borrowing initiative was also part of the budget, and once the budget was approved by both houses, it means that it is approved. Because actually this year they will be borrowing, I think, $49 million. So it was part of the budget. That's what got me confused when I heard that they were able to come up with additional $46 million in that they identified to take the budget from 6.
No, more. Let's take it easy, because we won't lost our people there. Let's take it easy first. Yes. Let's take it easy, because this is the trick in it. Let's take it easy. Let's think that we'll bring it down small, and we'll go easy way, so everybody can understand exactly what's happening, the games these guys have been playing from day one, and what they intend to do. So you are insinuating, and on SKTV, when we ask questions, we know the answer, my people. We already know the answer. We not do our research behind closed door. So when your leader that come on the show, or anybody that come on the show, and you can't, you talk funny thing, we'll hold you with the facts. We don't play games here. So if you come in, we're not saying, Manaka, you're more than welcome. We're happy to have the discussion. But you will say the truth here. And now that show them where you can do funny show them where you can go on. Where they can be playing, you're gonna be playing each other there. Oh, and my brother, my friend and brother, we've been knowing each other 50 years. I don't care how long I've been knowing you. I don't care. When you come here, we're on a different terrain. We don't know each other. Let's keep it moving. So the house of the legislature
Yeah.
approved this, but the same legislature come back and tell you, so they will be borrowing. How much you said they will be borrowing again more?
I think they'll be borrowing $49 million in total.
So yeah, they will be borrowing $49 million to add on to the budget. What is the final budget, right? Not 700 million, about 700 million.
738 million. It should have been 692, but for some reason, our senators and other people on the budget committee said they were able to identify and
My man, leader identify where we get there. It will come in there. That will man us that. That will take it easy. Let man us that. 400, the 736 million, right?
738.
738 minus how much they borrowing again?
They'll be borrowing $49 million.
Minus 49. Well, 738 minus 49. Okay.
And don't forget the 49 million that will be borrowed for this fiscal year. It was already part of the $602 million, because the additional 46 million was just something that they discovered after the original budget was submitted, because I don't know, for some magical reason they were able to discover something.
So more, let's go back.
Yeah.
If they already had an initial budget of 600 and change,
yes,
they increased it to 700 and change.
Yes.
However, they are borrowing about 49 million.
Yes.
How did they identify additional money? And where did they identify these additional monies first before we talk about where they will be allocated?
You remember when the other lawmaker from River G called on the show and he said he wanted to be here on Monday? That was the same issue that I raised.
I wasn't here though.
Yeah,
I wasn't here.
He will be coming to explain, because we all know it had been like it's a every year thing that we never. That's why I keep saying that every time we pass a budget, they always do a budget recast, because they know they won't be able to raise those revenue. Whatever from the Amara Conant dating back to Madam Sally, there were always budget shortfall. There will always be budget shortfall. So don't get the audience confused. The 49 million they will be borrowing was already part of the initial budget, the draft budget, or the proposed budget of $692 million, right? Can you imagine that you are borrowing 49 million to make up for 692 million? And out of that, you are telling us that you were able to identify additional potential revenue areas that will add 46 million to the budget, that we're talking to 738 million. So
are you saying they were considering this? Let's go back a little bit. Are you saying they're considering the 49 million? Is that why they were saying
it's already part of the budget? They borrow some money.
So okay. Hold on now. You see, when we do it, so the 49 million that have already identified was part of the 600 and change initial budget proposal that they made, right? Monk, are you there? Oh, Monk gone off.
I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
So this 49 million was part of the initial proposal that was made.
Yes.
Okay. So if that 49 million was part of the initial proposal that was made, where did the legislature identify the other money? Which sources? Where are they coming from to identify the other money to take the budget up to 738 million?
You see, when you pass in the budget, when the budget comes from the executive, you're looking at the finance ministry and all those agencies proposing a budget, right? The LRA, that's the job of the LRA to kind of identify revenue sources, right? That's why I'm confused. The lawmakers are not the one to tell up potential revenue sources.
Yes.
It came from the executive. All the lawmaker job there was to scrutinize. They can have a joint committee, their joint conference. They sit down and finalize it. But you cannot be the one to say you will identify potential revenue sources. So my question was, if the people who were charged with the responsibility of coming up with a budget or proposing a draft budget can tell us that, we will be able to come up with 692 million. How in the world the guys that were never charged with that responsibility were able to identify an additional 46 million? So yeah, it's the thing. Of the 692 million initial budget, the borrowing of 49 million was already part of it. But even though they were able to borrow just to come up with 692, but they want for a guy like you and myself to believe that they can raise the budget to 738 million because overnight they were able to discover an additional $46 million.
The other math, the other math is not mathing. It's really not adding up.
Let me get it with our own man to understand, right?
I don't know math,
let me count 1 second, then you can close it.
Yeah.
So like you and myself going to take a test, right? And you're good in mathematics, and I'm good in science. Let's just say, and we went to the test. They said, okay, they will be giving up a mathematics test. And the best of the best, so it will be Steve. I sent Steve to figure out that test, and Steve couldn't figure it out. But somehow, I was not a smart math student. I was the one that was able to ace the test. That's exactly what they're saying. The finance ministry and the LRA couldn't identify an additional 46 million, but somehow it was our lawmaker that were able to identify potential revenue sources to the tune of $46 million, despite the fact that of the 692 million that were passed initially, they were still borrowing up to $49 million.
So are you saying, are you trying to say here in a nutshell?
Yes.
Part of the reason why the lawmakers were infuriated, they were not happy with the initial budget submitted by the executive. This was part of the reason that they had to make sure that they put an undercut in there.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to balance the whole thing.
No, I told you the playbook. If you've been following the budget over years, you will know exactly how to play this game. I keep saying the reason they come out with it justify the reason why they will put additional money in the budget for themselves. Because let's say, Steve, you get 692 and they distributed the budget, they came up with the allocation to the budget. Now, if the lawmakers want additional money, it would not look fair to say they want to take money from that additional 692 million, right? They got to come up with additional, because when you bring in more money, which means it justifies the reason why they should get more money in kickback for themselves, because they're generating additional revenue. That's the game. But they know that at the end of the day, they won't be able to generate that money. But guess what? All the potential error in the budget that their funds will be available, they will pay themselves first, so that when there is time come for the recast, when they cannot meet the budget, then they will start making cuts to other areas. But guess what? Whether it was a development project, their district development project, by that time they already think getting their share, because they're going to prioritize the area where they will get money from first, because they already know there will be budget shortfall. But before the budget shortfall can occur, they already finish getting paid. They finish taking their extra kickbacks, their extra incentives. So they pay themselves first. Now, when they cannot come up with the full budget that they propose, then they come for the recast.
This is very, 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 you have to really think hard as a criminal to behave this way. And you have to have had some experiences in doing this, to do it this way, to be at this level of deception. So let me try to put this thing in simple English before we move any further.
And let me tell you one breaking news. Maybe Chairman Bility will come and address it. When you look at the proposed budget plan, and you look at something they call the public debt servicing narrative, which means they are talking about the interest and the principal, right?
Yes.
When you look at all the treasury notes and all the government security that they put on that document, you will see whether it's the African Development Bank, whether it's the UBA Bank, and all the banks that they claim to be owing, you will see the interest rate. But
which page are you on?
Yes.
Which page are you on, Monk?
I'm on separate document. It's on the Ministry of Finance website. They call it the public debt financing narrative, the service narrative, which means they're talking about how they will pay the principal and the interest of all the debt that they owe. Now, of the 2.3 billion total debt stack that Liberia owes, including domestic and international, the biggest international debt, or that we owe the most money, is the World Bank, right? And the IMF and the World Bank. But all the documents that they posted online, you will not see the interest rate that they pay on the debt. relating to the IMF and the World Bank, except for local and domestic banks and other creditors in Liberia. You see 4%, 5% on all the loans.
Why do you think they deliberately omitted the interest for the World Bank?
Because that way they can steal. Because when it comes down to paying the interest rate, how can you tell how much you are paying interest when you cannot even tell the rate for which the loan was given?
Oh, so wait, let's go back to that. So they were able to identify because this interest, when you go to the World Bank and order, so local people,
yeah,
were able to determine their interest.
Yes.
And give it. But the international people who have a standard and they have a set interest, there is no way you can go borrow from a bank in the world, especially in the Western world, whatever it is. They will not take the interest rate. In fact, it is the interest rate that will determine whether you can borrow from the other source or not.
Yes.
Because if one source on the interest rate is higher, you will not go there. You will go to the one that's lower. So there are standards, and these banks have it all over. Look. We'll ask the Ministry of Finance, we'll get them for now to tomorrow put that interest rate there. If you're not putting interest rate there, we'll research the interest rate and we'll tell the Liberian people. We'll have to do your work. Look, Joseph Parker will succeed. Joseph Parker will succeed. Whether he will succeed in us exposing the criminality, or he will succeed in them doing the right thing, or SKTV, Joseph Parker will succeed. The same way we have succeeded, Joseph Parker will succeed the same way because we'll not stop. Look, the information that you need to provide. Bama Kamara, Minister of Finance, and I say, man, I be passing around worry about somebody trying to get rid of you, worry about that one. We're not concerned about that one. We're not concerned about that one. Our issue that you decide to take job.
Steve, let me just give you a basic rundown.
Put it there. You not put that interest there. We will let the Liberian people know how much the interest is. Anyway, we're not going to.
Let me just give you a snapshot of what I was just saying concerning 2024. Just the proposed borrowing plan, right? When you go to the proposed borrowing plan, when you go to the appendix 2, the promissory note, which is also something we call the T note or the bond, right? That the government issuance of security. You will see the UBA bank, they took $2.5 million US dollars.
Which page are you on, Mark?
No, I'm talking about appendix 2. I'm looking at the borrowing, the proposed borrowing plan for 2024. How they took that, how they came up with that 49 million, they borrowed just for the fiscal year. But the document that I'm looking at, two separate documents. I'm looking at not only the money that they borrowed, but the interest payment and how they plan to service the debt as well. So I'm looking at two documents. You got one. You got a proposed borrowing plan. That's what I'm saying. When you go to appendix 2, which is page 12, you will see all the creditors and the promissory note and the interest rate and the fixed rate, domestic debt. That's what I'm reading.
Give me a second. Let me get there. Make sure.
Oh God, that country, like people say, I think trust issue will be the best thing for Liberia.
I'm on appendix 2 here.
Yes, it's a government securities detail.
Yes,
right. You see the creditors, right? The instrument name. You see the UBA bank. You see the LBDR. You see the Afriland. You see the RBL. You see Echo Bank. You see GNB, and you see the GTB, right?
Yes.
Under the UBA, they took 2.5 million. So the fixed rate is just uniform for them. Everything is 1%. But the interest on the debt that they took from UBA was 4%, LBDR 4%, Afriland 4%. But when you go to our biggest creditor, of the $2 billion that we owe in debt, 2.3 billion, more than 900 million come from the IMF and the World Bank. But when it comes to the biggest loan that we took and the debt that we carried, you cannot see the interest payment on it. It's not available.
But I'm confused.
Yes.
It seemed like all the banks here, all the banks you named on this appendix, all these banks that you name here, all of them got the same interest rate, 4%.
Yeah, because are domestic, so they are the ones setting the rate for them. They are domestic debt because of what they call security. So our central bank now are the one time they say, okay, we need so and so amount of money, but when they give you 4% interest on this money. But the IMF are the one that determine our interest rate.
Right, so they are not in control of that.
Yeah, they're one that is supposed to tell, or they are not telling all the interest, but the one that is supposed to tell what they tell, because we already know the fixed rate and look, these guys, man.
But it should already be there though. They should already have known that. That information is not hitting if you're doing it through the IMF or International Monetary Fund or the World Bank or whatever. These guys let you know the interest. Because you don't make the interest or you don't set the interest like the local banks in Liberia, does not mean that you will not know it. They will not give you a loan. No, let me say this again. No Western company or organization will give you a loan without letting you know the interest. No way. They don't do that. They will let you know the interest. Ask anybody who borrows money here in the Western world or from any kind of international bank. You must know the interest. You have to. They will take the interest rate. In fact, that's what makes them a business. They got to let you know what's going on. What say to you? Are they using this as a deception or whatever it is? Mo, are you there?
It's more of a deception thing for me, because we all know they got this issue. You know, the IMF, I tell people, since I've been knowing myself, every time you read history, the IMF and the World Bank, they are mostly formed to extract money. It's a business model for them, whether you like it or not. I have never seen a country in Africa that benefited from the whole World Bank and the IMF thing, because they look at poor country, they target you, they give you free money, and they've charged you exorbitant interest rate that will keep you in poverty forever, right? If you are telling me that we are owing IMF and the World Bank more than 900 million, it will be almost, and we're supposed to be our total debt stack. That is, if you look at the domestic and international debt, you're telling us that our debt is 2.34 billion. And the IMF and World Bank alone carry more than 930 million in debt, right? They are our biggest creditor. So how come we cannot know the interest rate on how much we will be paying our biggest creditor? And before you sign this agreement, the terms of this agreement, we got the amount in principle, the fixed rate, and the interest rate on those loans. But the average Librarian cannot tell you how much in interest we are paying to the IMF and the World Bank, and this will be our biggest creditor. So how?
Thank you. So folks, we got Chairman Musa Hassan Bility on here with us. It's very, very good to have the representative. You know, when you have government officials in the house, it's very, very good, especially leader in the house. Chairman Musa Bility is one of the leaders in the house. We're glad that he's here. But, you know, also, coincidentally and blessingly for us, Chairman Musa Bility happens to be a businessman. Out of his political life, he's a businessman, so he understands, you know, the business language or the money pattern, all the different. So that means, to be honest, we couldn't have found anybody to better help us, you know, answer the question, because he in totality he all there. So we want to make sure we lay the premise so that the chairman can say, you know, that money bene, you're talking me, I know about money bene, I don't know about the war. No. Just on here for the record. Chairman Musa Bility understand all the different money there and banking thing and the one. And if a football Bility point there again to be LFA man. So that LFA, if I'm making mistake, he went as far as to the BB FIFA and plays in there. So we got a red man here for the show today. So folks, you all share the show. Those of you listening to the radio, if you wanted to take your radio or to go to the bathroom, don't tell it, or the chairman will be waiting for. The representative will be waiting for a year. Don't go to the bathroom, say, listen clearly to this. Chairman, welcome to the show. Good afternoon to you, and how are you?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. Well, I love the African share you have on. You know, I've been asking you behind closed door to please get no African share. Let me just expose it. To get it from you now, that wall, see?
Come for it right here.
You know,
You can share as many as you want.
Chairman, thank you for honoring our invite. Thank you so much. And to your credit, we're sorry last week that we did not, even though you agreed to come on, oversight, we did not send you the link. As usual, I know some people ask us. It wasn't your fault. I just want to make sure I say to the public that it was our fault. Oversight, we did not send you the link to join us. So sorry about that. We want to make sure we apologize openly to our people and to also to you for leaving you hanging. You left your busy schedule and waiting throughout. Thank you for the understandings, and it was our fault.
Media is never wrong, so apologies accepted.
All right, wonderful. But congratulations. We've been seeing pictures. We've been seeing some of your moves you are making in your district, as you promised. Congratulations to you. Do you mind updating us, bringing us to speed as to where you are with the project that you promised your people, the Liberian people, and also the world at large, and you're keeping your promises to your people? Do you mind updating us real quick, please?
Yeah, so at this point, we are at, we finished one completely 2 days ago, dedicated that. The big one, the real big one, we're dedicating tomorrow. I'm happy that, a good number of Members of the House of Representatives will be here, led by the Speaker. The Vice President will be here. The entire county will be present. And for this, we have deployed a satellite internet at the site, so the program will be carried live from the site. So it's going to be short, maybe 2-3 hours. Starts at 10 to 11. And that comes to a close tomorrow. It's a big deal for all of us. 14 months ago, we broke ground for that bridge. Not a lot of people thought that we could. We had a lot of detractors. It was just a showmanship. It was impossible for one man to build a bridge like that. That's only a government can do. But we are where we are now, and people are happy. I'm getting ready to go there, to go, to do a final, review, and then tomorrow morning we'll dedicate a bridge. We'll have one more bridge, which is the last one in my district. We will dedicate that maybe in about a month, and then literally our district will be fully connected, 100%.
Okay. Yeah, some of your critics or other people who are interested in seeing the facts would like to know, is this government funded, considering your just passed budget? Is this government funded? Where you getting money from? Who then give you the money? Because we need to know you're a public servant now. We need to know who gave you the money, where you getting money from. That bridge very expensive. It looking nice, it looking fine. Where you getting money from?
You still don't know where I get money from, man?
No, the people need to know where you getting money from. We want to know
where I get money from. I think that question is irrelevant. The first
No,
question, yes. Yeah, the first question is whether it's government funded or not. Yes, but where I get it from, I think that question has been answered ever since. Yes, Steve. There's absolutely $0 of government money in this project. It's 100% private, and we thought to do it that way. I mean, we would have loved to have government support, but it did not come. And every day, I mean, every year during the rainy season, 1 or 2 persons would die on that bridge. It was too much. Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, congratulations to you. Congratulations to the people of your district, the people of Nima County, and the people of Bureau at large. Monk, what say you before we just woman with the chairman, and the chairman trying to pick in a question and he won't answer now. But we want me on, chairman.
And the question, my man, you're about my man. You know you ain't involved me, man. You're got a question or answer it.
Monk, what say you?
I will be looking forward to that ceremony because that was a massive infrastructure project taking into account in the remote part of the country. That's now an easy project and it's a huge project. Congratulations to the chairman on taking such an initiative. You see, I tell my people all the time, I say, when you want to do better in government, people want to believe that government business. I say no, all over the world, government is business. Business is everything, whether it's in the public sector or it's in the private sector, no matter what. If you bring more people with business acumen and business idea, they will be able to contribute immensely because businessmen always see profit. Businessmen always look for solutions to problems because what you think as a problem, or businessmen see it as profit. So every time there is a problem, they are always looking for solution. And that bridge, I think it could usher in your big economic activities because it's one of the things, Steve, here in America, the one reason we are the biggest economy on the planet because we got roads and bridges, we got the infrastructure. Better infrastructure, you're able to move goods and services around. And whenever you're moving goods and services around, it means more money for government and people. That's just what it means. So it's a massive project. I'm not going to ask the chairman where he took the funds from. I mean, the people in the district, they will ask that. But I think I will be looking forward to the ceremony tomorrow. They all get up. I saw some photos last night. They took picture on the bridge. I saw the background with the lights and everything. So I must commend him for that initiative. It was great. It was a massive project.
Okay. It
Yeah.
was good. It was great. It was a massive project. Yes, indeed. Truly speaking, it's a very good day for the people of Nima County and the chairman's district. Chairman would like to pivot into our current national issues. First of all, want to delve into the security issue that's going on. Motorcyclists are protesting, are planning on protesting the whole helmet thing, and you are in charge of national security too as well from the legislative standpoint in the lower house. What is your view and how do you view this whole issue of planning protests by motorcyclists and the whole helmet and it enforcing by Gregory Coleman? They must enforce this. I don't understand. What is your view?
We just coming from the break, resume. We meet. I think the National Security Committee will meet to develop approach. Normally, this is a committee. I'm not the only one, so I don't just want to opine as chairman and disregard the rest of the members. So normally, when things are like this, and especially when we come back, we will have to sit down and then cite the relevant security agencies for briefing, and then from there we can take a position.
Are you saying that you are not aware of this policy, or you have no clue of this policy? You just hearing about it maybe on the internet or from through the media, or just your interaction driving to work and so forth?
I didn't hear your question. I didn't hear
Are
your
you saying
question.
that you are not aware of this policy from the security apparatus or from Gregory Coleman or the government at large? Are you saying you are not aware of this entire policy or the implementation and so forth?
I am aware, but as National Security Committee of the House, we have not been officially briefed, and so that we can have an idea of what is really going on. The last time the police said that they were going to move the people, and then they sat and made a compromise. I didn't think, and I still don't think that compromise was necessary. But then the hope was that it was good enough to put a system in place, and I think I agree with that, even though I had my fears about the motorcyclist capacity to respect the rules. It is where we are. My personal opinion, not the opinion of the National Security Committee, is that we have to do everything that we have to do to clean the city. Motorbike don't belong in the city. I mean, that's my position. But you see, our politics is so, it's so bad. When CDC was in power, the party was criticizing everything CDC were doing. So now, the party is in power, CDC is retaliating. The country is just caught in that vicious circle. But my personal opinion is that they don't belong on the street.
Okay, just before I go to Siku or
They don't
Monk
belong
here
on the street.
for questioning, I like to follow up from a humanistic standpoint. What is the government doing to buttress the efforts of these motorcyclists who, for example, are making little to nothing on a daily basis, but you are asking them to carry 2 helmets? Has the government taken into consideration, the sanitation, the health of passengers? Also, in terms of money or expensive, these things are expensive. So these guys are not making anything, but you are telling them that they should have helmets. They should have 2 helmets. They should make sure the helmets are clean. They should go and register this one. What is the government doing to buttress the effort?
We'll ask them. I mean, that's our job to ask Joseph Barker and his team. That's not my job. My job
But
is
you,
to ask whether they're doing something.
but you're part of the
And
legislature. You are part of the
yes,
legislative government
I
who
was on.
allocate.
I was on. I'm currently on break, Steve. I'm resuming tomorrow, and as I resume, I will go and ask them. My
Hmm,
job is to oversee what they do. It's not to do the work itself, but it's to
right.
oversee their work. So, um, the motorbike issue is being politicized, and I think that we should allow the police to do their work. Motorbike don't belong in the middle of our city. It should have a designated. But again, I guess it boils down to planning and visioning, considering that there are thousands of people that are riding these motorbikes and thousands more that are depending on them for their movement.
Hmm.
Unless you have a national plan
Right.
for you to replace the motorbike with something else, it's you're not going to get a citizen full support to do it. So right now, the only person who is complaining is you and myself who have car. And they're scraping our car, but the ordinary people see, what do I care about what motorbike does to Musa Bility car? What carry me to where I'm supposed to go? Unless you provide means of public transportation to get how many person Monrovia has? 1.5 million at most, maybe 2 million. Even if you put the 2.5 million. Gee, that's Queens in New York have more people than Monrovia or Liberia as a whole. So it's nothing. Accra is almost 20, 30 million people. I mean, the whole Ghana. So Accra, you're talking about between 10 to 12 million. So we look, to change, to succeed, you have to follow the path of those who have succeeded. There's no other way. We can't keep motorbikes on our street, but there are ways around it.
Thank you.
You have to plan, you have to have a transportation plan. In my mind, from a businessman point of view, I would have called the banks, the big bank, and say, look, are you willing to invest in some kind of transportation? And call MTA to say, okay, you able this transportation business, but you can supervise the process where we can privatize. So you get the cities, you create bus companies that and give out the movement right to a certain city to one or two companies. You
Okay.
solve the
Thank you.
problem.
Thank you.
Privatization.
Okay. Sekou, welcome to the show. How are you? And we'll pivot to Monk, and then we'll get back with you for your questionings. Monk, any question or concern for the chairman here before we get to the next step? Monk, are you there?
Hello?
Yes.
Well, I told you from the beginning the whole motorcyclist thing. I think I'm beyond that. I'm just waiting for to get to the meat and potatoes when it comes to the loans and the interest payment, where the chairman stand concerning these exorbitant interest payment that be Parliament labyrinth people. As I believe that is one of the main reasons that our government is stagnant, our people in poverty, because we all know it's like universal that the more debt that your country falls into, especially for tier world developing countries, the harder it is for you to grow the economy and make people life better, because the interest payment alone is more than enough to suffocate you. So that's what I'm waiting for us to get to, and then I can ask the chairman a few questions, because he's from the business side of things, and I know he got a whole different perspective when it comes to borrowing money. Like business people tell you that debt is not always a bad thing, but it's about what you do with the money that you credit. That's the most important thing. So I'm here.
Okay. Thank you, Monk. Kane, up to you for questioning.
Thank you so much. Chairman Bility, welcome. I like that share though. I like that African share. So
Oh yes,
I,
it
I
was
was saying
given
I
to
was saying maybe want to go get it or to go get mine. So as long as maybe get it, then I will get it.
me. Maybe
I,
only
I,
put
I
one
need
thing I
mine.
told
I need
you.
mine too because that share too. Maybe if you one thing I will not take it when you say it belong to people there in a big house that people then can get a $150,000, for themselves.
No,
They will not take it.
this was given to me 2 days ago.
Oh, it's
When we
nice.
dedicated a bridge, and the people give me this.
Oh wow. So no, they got you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow, that's nice. It's beautiful. So when are we gonna do the grand opening or the inauguration of the bridge? I learned that
Tomorrow.
Monday. Is that tomorrow?
Yeah,
Okay. So
tomorrow.
who are going to be there? The president going to be there?
No, the vice president will be there. The speaker will be there. Some senators will be there. I know Senator McGill and Senator Barney have confirmed. I know about 3 or 4 more senators will come. Um, at least 13 members of the House of Representatives will be there. The entire Nima County Legislative Caucus will be there. The county leadership will be there. And some political leaders, Councillor Banglo will be there. From the Liberty Party, Charlie Bronsky will be there. From ACO, Blusini Kamara will be there. So,
Yeah. So we recently saw an opening of a mosque in Sanikole City, Nima County. I think I saw you in one of the pictures, and I'm told that you also contributed to that process. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Since I'm not sure what you guys have talked about, but I just wanted to know exactly if I saw in the picture and I heard that you contributed. Can you speak to the mosque in Sanikole and what this means for the coexistence of Liberians or Nimbayan as a whole, given the fact that people were taken away, some were slaughtered in cold blood, and now people coming back to build a mosque, kind of modern mosque in Sanikole. What does that mean for our country in Nimba County?
it means that we have moved on. I think it's significant, Sekou, that we have a mosque in Sanikole, the capital of Nimba. And that mosque is actually the most beautiful mosque in the Republic of Liberia at this time. The entire leadership of the country were there, the vice president, everybody was there in unison. The most important part that I saw was that, like from my district, women from my district who are not Muslim joined me and put on their Muslim dress, cover their hairs, I'll send you the pictures. It was quite mesmerizing. And then the same thing, the superintendent, the vice president's wife, they all went in the mosque, dressed in a certain way, in honor of the Islamic religion. I think it shows that Nimba County, has really, really moved, move, strongly.
All right. So, Steve, I don't know how far you are because I don't know whether you guys have talked about anything how to do with budget and money thing because
No, we have not delved into that yet.
part of it, I got plenty of questions for the representative
Yeah.
and the chairman. So when you get to that, then I'll ask a question on that.
No, we have not delved into the financial part of it. Let me just kickstart and then maybe you can go into you and Monk can take over the questionings of that, and I will do subsequent follow-up questionings. Chairman, Representative Musa has some ability. Want to move to another segment, which is the money part. You understand money. You understand business? My question to you is, what is your overall view of the current budget that's passed? And did you vote in support of it?
Yeah, my overall view has never changed. It's been about feeling that what we have as a country, and it's quite disappointing. And that's my first position, that this budget will not change the life of anybody. It's no different from the just real budget. It has no vision. Uh, but the argument that the government did not have time to adjust, was plausible. So of the doubt. But by this time next year, Liberia would not have taken one step forward because there's nothing in the budget to make us to move forward. My only fear is that we don't move backward.
Yeah, but Chairman, you are saying this budget is not going to benefit the Liberian people. But then you supported it, and you are also saying that the government, more like you're making excuses for the government. But there should be an experienced government with educated people. In fact, Boyman Kamara was the most immediate finance minister, and it seemed like you are making more excuses for the budget and leaving the Liberian people out hanging. So the Liberian people you're saying the Liberian people should wait for one more year while they're suffering, but you guys are enjoying.
I didn't vote for Joseph Barker. They don't want to vote for him. Voted for him. So nobody is going to hold me responsible for what kind of budget the government present. I would not accept that responsibility. As a matter of fact, because it's a new government and because it's the government that the people want, I have no intention to stop that government from functioning simply because I disagree with the way in which it wants to govern. I can criticize, I can use whatever authority I have to have oversight, but it will have to be allowed to govern the way it has told the Liberian people that it will govern. So, and that's what they saw, and they decided that they wanted, this government. Yeah, there was no debate. There was no debate. There was no positioning of positions. There was nothing about this is what my plans are. This is my economic plan. This is my nothing. The people voted the way they voted with not much reasoning. So no, I refuse to be held liable for this budget. I have a responsibility as a lawmaker, and that responsibility is that I see what is wrong with the budget. I've stated it. I've gotten a response. I've raised my concern. Some of it were addressed, some of it were not, and I'll wait to see the outcome report. Then I can make a proper judgment.
So before Sekou and Mon comes in, so you are in a nutshell reiterating the slogan, we agree.
No, I'm not agreeing with anything. But I'm not here to baby spoon feed the Liberian people. They will have to wake up and make the right choices when they have to do. Otherwise, they bear the consequences. I'm not Sekou, Steve. I'm here to represent the people of District 7, and I'm doing that well. Whether it's from my pocket or whatever means, I'm going to do that. What the Liberian people see is what they get, and what they get is what they see. And what they see is what they voted for. It's not my business. They will have to, you see, at some point in time,
I love that.
We as a people,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we can't keep, blaming politicians, government after government But yet, when they come election time, you all over in the water, in the rain, voting for them. It is not my business. I will do what I think is right. I will do what I think I should do. And anything that is going to come that I don't like, I will fight. I am fighting. I've said that this legislature, in the last two legislatures, there was corruption, there was stealing, there was money laundering, and it need to be audited. They don't want to audit it. I am going to fight that. I've said that this government has violated 10 laws. It should not violate it. And I'm going to continue to make that case. There are areas where I don't agree. I'll say it. Yesterday, I had a press conference regarding what happened in Jakarta when the citizens and the police were fighting. And I said, the people must learn to respect the law. And that when the court orders something, you don't go around, firing at the police and trunking them. That doesn't solve I would say that. But that's the government the people voted for. Okay? That's the government they voted for. So what am I supposed to do now? It is their choice. I will not fight the people's government. So they bring up budget. It is the budget that this government wants for Liberian people. I will not hold it at ransom. I will look for it. I will ask specific questions about the people that I represent. I don't have to have 100% answer. If I have it, I'll move on. The rest of it, the preamble or the Article 1 or at the beginning part of the Liberian Constitution say the people get a right to change their government for their own pleasure. They can use that. They can use that last day at the pool. But you do all of this thing, then you get to the pool, you make the same decision. I'm not here for that. What we see today is what we ask for. Look, Steve, every society deserves the leaders it has. Every society. If you get good leaders, that's the good leader you deserve. If you have bad leaders, that's what you deserve. No society will ever have a leader that it doesn't want or it doesn't deserve. So,
Chairman,
yes.
thank you. Thank you so much for that point. But let's go to Monk. Monk, any question before we go to second? Any question or concern for the chairman? Because we're getting into the budget here and other.
Just before we get into the budget, the chairman couldn't have said it any better. We have democracy. It is people will. You go to the polls, you cast your ballot. What you see, because the wizard wake, what you see is what you got. You are given an option. The chairman said it right. In as much as the district is not isolated from the country, but he's accountable to the district because the people voted for him. So he's not going to question the leadership that they got because they voted for the leadership. He's only going to play his oversight role. He's going to exercise his responsibility. But at the end of the day, there's the perfect definition I've ever heard from a lawmaker in recent time. You vote what you get and you live by the consequence of the decision.
Yeah.
The president is a business. I mean, the chairman is a businessman. He look at the budget. He know there's nothing but a laughing stock. It's a joke and nobody level is going to be improved.
I said
So
it.
he's saying that at the end of the day, you voted for this. This is constitutional. You will live with the consequence of the decision.
And I'm committed to my people.
Yeah.
I will change their life. I will bring businesses in the district. Those businesses will provide jobs for the people. I will bring agricultural program. As I'm speaking to you, I'm already almost 60 to 70% along the way in putting up a cassava plant in my district. I'm putting up a poultry farm. I'm having agricultural program. I'll focus on my people. Liberian people, I'm not going to be on the radio every day insulting Joseph Baga. Joseph Baga is your leader. What Joseph Baga does is what you deserve. You don't deserve nothing less.
All right, Mr. Akane, it's up to you. Very interesting.
Yeah, thank you so much. I like the new chairman. I like the new tone. And I like the fact that the chairman is telling us that whatever we get, that's what we deserve. That's what we voted for, and we shall live with that. I agree with that 100%. Let the chairman come, because the way the chairman is um Mabel. Mabel, when you are on the show, you can't be having 100% conversation on the camera on another phone. So maybe you can just turn off the camera and have your stuff in the back there. That's fine. Yeah. Um, you know, the chairman left a lot of open questions, and then let me just, Mr. Chairman, can you hear me?
Clear.
Okay, thank you so much. And our first question to you, I listened to you and the budget thing. The 100,000 or 150,000 in the budget. You said whatever budget Joseph Bucket brings, you're going to work with that. And will you be willing, or are you going to be receiving the 100, $50,000, $100,000 that is supposedly meant for legislative engagement or project, in your respective districts and stuff? Are you going to accept that money, 100,000 or 150,000?
Okay, so Segu, here, and this is here lies in my anger when I tell people that the legislature need to be audited, because the people do not know how we function, how we utilize the money that have been allocated to all of these years. They become apprehensive, and people, I mean, Liberia is so victimized. So I see people putting down legislators, making more money. But if you go to Ghana or the United States, in your district, just as in this budget, I, as representative of District 11, don't receive $100,000.
Okay.
There's $100,000 in the budget that I can go and sit with my people, and they will say, today, our hospital, we don't have a clinic, so we want a clinic. Then I would take that communication to the legislative project implementation office, and they would turn it over to the executive. The executive, and tell the executive, Honorable Bility has identified XYZ project, and he would like to build it within this cost, which is allocated to him. How does that become money? You have small children there as minister and deputy ministers who cannot even bring 100 votes and playing with millions of dollars. You have managing directors that are literally running the country in millions of dollars, but yet none of them have any responsibility to their people. None whatsoever. I am the representative of over 40,000 people. And you are saying that I do to identify a project worth 100,000 as a lawmaker? The reason why this is being said about legislature is because it has been corrupt, it has stolen money, and that's why it needs to be audited, so that when I have 100, look, this 100,000 is not even acceptable to me.
All right.
I want the 1 million.
Let me interrupt you for a second, Mr. Chairman. I think we are on the same page on this. I think even limiting the money to 100,000, 150,000 is not even enough. Money is not the problem. The process.
Thank you.
You identifying problem projects whether it's health, education, agriculture, whatever it is, you identifying that in consultation or in collaboration with your people, that is a fair game. And also presenting that of a concern to the executive. Let's say, for example, if this is something that has to do with agriculture, as executive will introduce that to the Ministry of Agriculture to make sure they work with your team to identify whatever you have as a project in your district that your people want. It could be more than 100 million. I mean, 100,000 or 200,000. But is the money going to come to you, Musa, Bility, in your account, in your pocket, to decide how that money is going to be spent? Or is it going to be used through the agriculture ministry, through the agriculture ministry to work with your district and make sure the project that you are yearning for happen? How the money going to be dispersed? Is it going to be through you directly in your pocket? You decide when to spend, how to spend, how much to spend, or it's going to be through the executive and through the Ministry of Agriculture or Ministry of Health or Ministry of Education?
So, Sego, as
Yeah.
you know, $1 of that money will not come to any lawmaker.
Okay.
And I tell my colleagues, let's audit this place and create a transparent system. It is the way in which these things have been done, where in the past, lawmakers will manipulate these processes that have created suspicion. And to get rid of this suspicion, there has to be transparency. To have transparency, there has to be accountability and a system to do that. And when we talk about we want audit, and people think that the Buguman was saying Wampo Osa. And this legislature has become this Buguman now because it has a bad record. The United States, with the district you are, by the way, check the website. The representative you have in your district earmarks more than $100 million every year.
Mm-hmm.
They call it earmarks.
Yeah.
It's not money that comes to him.
Mm-hmm.
He holds district meetings, they identify projects, and he writes the appropriate government agency in the executive for implementation. But because we don't want to be transparent, everybody is bobo. I, Musa Hassan Bility, wanted $1 million United States dollar to be given to each district as a direct injection into that district. And I feel that it is justified because that would be the closest the Liberian people would be to their budget and to their government.
Okay.
So I beg you, let me interject a question, please. I don't normally do this, but I don't want this to skip the chairman. I want to ask him this question in line to what you said, please, as a follow-up, please. Yeah, Chairman Representative Musa Hassan Bility, how do you differentiate the 30,000 that were allocated, quote unquote, district project or whatever it is, under the we-are-led government, as opposed to this, when you have the likes of Thomas Fala, whose name has been mentioned, also overseeing this project? How do you differentiate this money? Because what you're saying here sounds like that's what you envision. But actually, what is presented as you guys dare the Liberian people and say, okay, you used to give us 30,000 before, we increase it to 100,000. How do you differentiate these two monies?
Okay, first of all, are two different money. Let me make that clear. Legislative money is money that is not seen by the lawmaker. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The legislature's money is money that is not seen by the lawmaker. The legislative engagement is the money that is given to the lawmaker during legislative break. Again, let me repeat. No one has interaction with the Liberian people more than the legislators. Nobody. I'm here, Steve, and I hope one day you'll come here. It's 8 o'clock. I still got at least 50 people also waiting for me. I have to see them after this program. Every morning I wake up, 7, 8 o'clock, people lawmaker go through that. The weird-led government, I was not in the legislature, so I don't know how it happened. But in this government, there's no money that is given to any lawmaker under the table. Everything we get, as far as I'm concerned, comes through the system. And this legislative project, if you see, when the lack of transparency personalize these things. Look at you calling the deputy speaker name. Because in your mind, there's no system. And you are right. But if you have a transparent system, does it matter who is there? No. The system will be accountable to itself. It will be transparent. It will be on the website. Musa Bility 100,000. How did he spend it? You understand? And then if he spend it to build one toilet, you will now have the chance to have an estimate of a toilet and what a toilet costs and what Musa. Then you will do a proper assessment.
Okay.
That is not done.
Let's go back to you,
And
sorry.
because we are operating the legislature from the past, and I hope we don't repeat that. And so far, there's no indication that we are going to repeat that. There's a dark cloud hanging over this bit, and we are determined to move that dark cloud. We are determined to do that, and we'll do it.
Okay. So anyway, by way of information, we have Senator Dapo from River G tomorrow. He's going to go to Truth FM. He's going to be our guest tomorrow to discuss the budget. He said that he is part of the budget committee and he formed part of the committee that made adjustment on the budget. And he will give a detail as to how, in fact, the money, was increased from $600+ million to $700+ million. So he will be here tomorrow. We just spoke with him a few minutes ago, and he confirmed his appearance tomorrow on Truth FM on SKTV. So we'll have that conversation tomorrow, just so you know. Maybe if the chairman can answer more for the House of Representatives, and based on what he knows, then
So far, you're not focusing on that.
Yeah, we're not focusing on the legislature. I want to make sure you will not just take our money like that.
Yeah, okay. So I will answer the question. You're bringing, I will answer it.
Yeah,
the Liberian people, we get the 11, I don't know, the 11 or whatever million that the legislature is getting. But you have
30 million.
690 million.
It's 30 million plus.
But you have almost
13.2 million to be exact.
That's nothing. It's nothing. That's compared to.
It's the big thing. It's nothing if it's clear, if it's transparent, it's nothing. But if it's features, there is the big thing.
Well, we will make sure that it's transparent. We look, Sekou, my money, nobody will ask me to report it. I owe that to nobody but to you guys, to the people that brought me here, and to Liberian people. I have not even met. I will have a meeting. I will have a meeting in my district. We'll sit down. We'll identify what needs to be done with that money. We'll do a resolution, and then we'll take that resolution and use that resolution with it. I will not write a letter.
So, Mr. Chairman, in a nutshell, you're telling us that this money that we are talking about here, that has already been approved by the president, you're telling us is different. It's not going to be, because I wanted the people to hear this and hear it very clear. You're telling us that this money is not going to be donated to you guys as $30,000 was donated to Darrell, and other people before they say, people say, well, corruption, it was this, it was that. It's not going to be like that. This is going to be, there's going to be a procurement process, there's going to be project proposal, there's going to be direct, communication, and this is going to be spent, and the project going to be through the requisite agencies of government, but under the supervision and based on the proposal made by you as a district representative or senator for your county. It's going to be directly under you guys as legislative project, but it's going to be done through direct procurement and project proposals and based on the need, and it's going to be directly through the government agency, not in your pocket. Is that what you're saying? I want to be clear with that.
100%. In addition to that, consultation with the people. I'm thinking on several options for this money in my district. For instance, we have a lot of students that are attending university in Nimba. They are languaging in Sanibole, they are languaging in Ganta. They don't have tuition. I'm going to propose to our council if we can help them to underwrite some of their tuition, to alleviate some of their tuition problem. That's one of the ways that we're going to help. Another way that we want to help is to see whether the volunteer teachers, but I'm trying to see whether there are programs within the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Education to cover the volunteer teachers. If they are, then we'll look to do somewhere else. If they are not, that's one of the areas we want to look. We have nurses that are now on payroll that are helping our women to deliver with a medical pay. They're not taking pay. All of that. We have also chances of, there are several clinics in the district that don't get assistance from government. So we're looking at, maybe we will just try to help some of these people with those methods. Or the two big hospitals, maybe we'll look. So we'll look up directly. At this point in time, we'll look at the most pressing needs. Things that fall outside of our district plan. Then we'll make sure that those. But whatever we do, it will be done with consultation from all segments of our district. And then we're not rushing for that money. We'll go for it after we consult our people. We'll document the consultation, and then we'll issue a communication, and then we'll follow the money to make sure that we get it.
Okay. I'll ask one last
Gentlemen,
question.
I can only stay 10 more minutes because I have to go to the bridge.
Yeah, but I think I will have more questions to ask you in the future because there are a lot of things that we want to talk about. I know you are very straight and you speak to the issue based on what you know directly, and I love that. But what I wanted to ask you is that on this same money, why is it that the money is going to be already been approved, but is there going to be any restriction or control? Let's say what you say right now, if other people looking at it a different way, and they don't spend the money or they don't have the ability to spend the money the way the money was allotted, will there be any consequences, any backlash, any ramification for not doing or not spending the money for the intended purpose or purposes? Is there anything controlling or guiding the legislature giving them this huge amount of money, is there any fine line that they have to
you see, the way I see it
Mhm.
is that we're not above the law.
Okay.
If you take government money and you misapply it, the government should come after you.
Okay.
And if you have transparent system, through that system, the government should be able to detect whether or not it is properly done.
Okay.
Like I said, if I were my colleagues, some of the areas that I wouldn't, the money is too small. Some of the areas that I wouldn't want to go near, areas such as construction area, because these are the areas that create so many issues. I want to focus on my human capacity. I have students in my district that are struggling to pay their school fees. If I take 50 students from District 7 and say I'm paying 10,000 or 15,000 toward their school fee, you see the line, right? That's a clear, easy accountability something. We just write the people and say we have 3 students and they are at, let's say, PYJ or Nimba University. I think we've got 3 or 4 universities. Then they will send us invoice, we'll submit it, and they will pay, and that will be our record. To go now to say I want to build kitchen, and the kitchen costs 50,000, and then it's a war between you and the people. Some people say the kitchen not even reach 5,000. I think I will ask my colleagues to avoid things like that. Focus directly on your people. See how you can move their life. Look at the nurses, look at the students, look at the teachers, and see how you can help them. These are things that you can do, and the line of money is very clear.
So
Today's a representative, yes.
So, Chairman Musa Bility, before you leave us, I want to ask you a straightforward, radical question. And the reason I put radical behind this question is because you guys are inserting yourself into this process that you have no legal, constitutional rights to do, but you are yet inserting yourself into money business and putting yourself there. So here's my question to you.
No, I didn't hear you go. I repeat the whole question.
Here's my question. I made a statement. I've never asked the question. I said you guys are inserting yourself into this whole money business by allocating 100,000 each, quote unquote. You're going to all the thing what you're saying here, like the sweet talk part of it. I'll talk it the elaborate way. The real part of it is this, and I will ask you my question because our people are suffering, and we come on this radio every day. We don't come here to make jokes. We come here to be serious, and I'm sure that you are serious about what you are saying as well. But here's my question to you: if the Labrador people do not see this money as it should be allocated, should the Labrador people come to the representative in the district, and make sure whoever eat that money, instead of going through government because we're just going to be bureaucracy, should the Labrador people hold you individually accountable? So let's say, for example, if you have Bility refuse to spend 100,000 to benefit the Liberian people in your district, should the people mobilize in your district and come to your house?
No. You say if I refuse to spend it, but you say if I misapply it, because if I don't find a suitable way to spend it, or if I'm not satisfied of how the government want to spend it, I will not agree to spend it.
Right.
So So let's say if I misapply it, I think that's a better way to deal with this. I think because it's known by the people that their representatives have received the money, I think you should. I know this 55th legislature, how much emphasis we have put on this to say we should not embarrass ourselves. We should make sure that the process is transparent. We've done that. And I think that we are going to continue to do that.
So you are saying, let me put it in a nutshell from my people, because me back as peaceable English. You saying to our papa, our woman, and the young boy and the youth the people rather in your district. The money that they not pay you. If you, Musa, Hassan, Bility, now use the money for the people in your district, that 100,000 to benefit the people in your district. The people should come to your home for that money. They might not go ask Joseph Boaga, they might come to you because now you put yourself in the middle.
Of
What you saying?
course. I'm the one that is accountable to them.
My people, all of y'all who in your development district and your lawmaker get 100,000 for y'all.
No,
They did not use 100,000. Yeah.
No, Steve, before we go, let me clarify this.
Yeah, make it very clear.
Based
The
on
people say we got 100,000, but we see a year.
yeah.
So you're not getting it. You're not getting it.
Steve,
Don't have me book out tomorrow morning.
Mr. Chairman, before you go, let me say this. Based on your answer to my questions, you're not going to get the money. You're going to just have the name of the money. The money going to be in the bank. The money going to be in government account. You will only use the money and take credit based on what is needed in your district, and you present that to the people. That's how it's supposed to be. But it's not going to be business as usual where the people go and take their money and give it to you, so you go and spend it the way you want it for your district. It's not going to be money in the bank, correct?
You are 100% correct.
Okay.
No member of the legislature will see the money.
Okay.
Your only work is to inform the executive of how you want the money used for your people. That's all.
So the downside for this thing here, you put yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
How? That's how it works. That's how simple. There's no content you put there. No. There's no content you put the content you in. Everywhere you go, the legislature has the power as the direct representative of the people to identify projects and tell the executive come and execute this project.
Yeah, but
that's what we're doing.
That's how it works everywhere. But let me tell you the difference of Liberia. You put yourself in the box. We limit yourself. You don't do that.
How?
Yeah.
What you
because you have certain amount without even identifying the problem. You already set up a cap. But assuming
that's how it's happening everywhere.
Yeah, assuming
it's
you
called
have
legislative. No. It's called legislative earmark everywhere in the world. There are millions of dollars in the budget that a legislator
is supposed to be something that you already identify and you think are things that need to be taken care of, and you present that to the executive that you need this thing are developmental projects.
We just came into office, and secondly, we were looking for more than that. So we couldn't have identified one thing and then we'll get different things. So we want to know first how much we're getting, and then we'll come to people. This money doesn't come to us. All we are doing is to inform the executive branch that have the money to say, we have agreed that the teachers in our district, for instance, the high school volunteers, they don't have pay. Use this money to pay them. Or the nurses don't have pay. Use the money to pay them. Or the hospital in this part of my district, it does not have operation room. This money to do that. They don't take it.
So what if the projects in your district are way more than 150,000? What would you
discuss that? And we thought and decided that that's not a good idea. That would make room for corruption. Try to be as exact as it can be so that people can see the end product of what you are asking for. The easier way to steal the money.
You got to work within the $100,000.
Yes, because
beyond that.
Yes, because if you get a 300,000 building and ask for 100,000 and take 50,000 and put it in your pocket and put it 50,000 in, but the house not finished yet because at 300,000, nobody will know. That would be a basis for corruption. So we are saying that it should be limited to.
So Chairman Musa, Bility, quickly. So that means two questions. One question, but two sides of it. That means every year, this 100,000 will be allocated in the budget for you guys. Secondly, does this also mean that you guys, when you allocate this money in the budget, does it also mean that the government, let's say for example, public works, will also be doing things in your district? Is this not double? You're not crisscrossing a conflict of interest here? Why are you guys? Okay.
Where?
The first part of the question is this: how long is it 100,000, 150,000 going to be in the budget for you guys? How long? Is it yearly or every budget?
Yeah. We want more next year. The 100,000 is small.
Okay, so does that also mean?
You think we keep the joke? The executive taking all the money. We want more money for our people. I want
job for development. The job is for the
exactly. It's unconstitutional.
But Seko, you see, why you don't understand, and I want you to understand this. The entire budget belongs to us to determine what happens to it. I want you to know that that's what the Constitution says.
And you present projects to the government that you want them to be executed in your respective district and counties.
But that's what we are doing now. All the legislature did. No, but all the legislature did was, since we have the power to appropriate as a body, we appropriate 680 million, and then we'll give the appropriation right that we have to each one of you to appropriate 100,000. We are only appropriating. We're not doing nothing with the money.
It's clear. No, it's clear. The fact that we go to your pocket, it makes sense.
No, it's an appropriation. If I wanted to be spent on health, I will inform the Ministry of Health that this my money, implement it and use it. That's why the money of other money comes to our pocket.
So you know,
I want you to know that you people will be forced to respect some of us as lawmakers in this country.
No.
We're not going to encourage corruption. We will never encourage corruption.
We'll have you back on because of time.
When you next week, I want you to come early on time.
Yeah. We're not. They're rushing. What you there, Jenna? It's not looking something. So yeah,
I'll be ready for you more than 100 times, and I'm coming for you with the budget business.
Yeah, because we need to go into the thing. We need to find out.
No, coming for you.
I mean, look at police.
I'm just
got
listening and enjoying the conversation.
I mean, are you kidding me? Police got $24 million. Ministry of Finance got almost $80 million. Then you come to local lawmaker, the people representative with $11 million.
So how do you react to Sianayo? How do you react to the Chief Justice Sianayo who said she not appearing in Yo?
The man gotta go.
No, let me react to this one.
Anna, you have to talk about the judicial system. You know,
yeah, but she said you're gonna do French. She's not coming there. You wanna do French?
No, she's not necessarily the person. No, she's not necessarily the person to come. You know, there are people in the place there.
She said she's not sending nobody. You can do fine about it because the president.
We passing that one now. The budget.
No, you're not passing. You're not passing.
The budget pass. The budget pass.
So why you rush Joseph Walker from America to come and sign it to the airport?
But Joseph,
it's okay.
Joseph Baga signed that document before he left the country, man. I see you, man.
So the one that he signed to the airport, our flag, that breaking news,
that complete blank. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, that one is breaking news.
Breaking news. So the president left. Oh wow.
Mr. Chairman, thank you so much. We'll see you next Sunday. We'll see you next Sunday. Please come on time.
No, we gotta bring the chairman on before Sunday. Turn it too far. We gotta get into that.
Okay, but I'll reach out to the chairman.
I think I'll make out Monday night or maybe Wednesday night.
Let's do Tuesday night. We're gonna have the senator from River G, Senator Dapo, here on Monday night.
Okay. Tuesday night is fine.
Okay. Wonderful. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, but Mr. Kane, we are laughing, but you know the chairman's last revelation is very concerning.
Yeah, Mr. Joseph Baga signed the budget before he left. See, whatever y'all saw at the airport at Avla.
This is very concerning.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
But
I don't know, man.
I don't know if we can get one or two reactions from the Liberian people on the phone.
I don't know if Melbourne is available to do that right now because we're already over our time.
For me, I don't want to respond to the chairman, but I mean,
go ahead.
The thing is, there is great error in the whole thing concerning the whole budget, the $100,000 budget, $150,000. First of all, the chairman was talking about transparency, and he's talking about the same time he need more money, right? And for the vast majority of people, it's not about the size of the money, it's all about the accountability aspect of this
Yep.
money. So you cannot be saying that you want accountability and you can't even say manage the first 100,000 and say that I want more money. Yeah, it makes logical sense to account for more money based on the size. You see, when you look in this country, when you're talking about earmarks, all projects are not created equal. So when
Yep.
you just put a top, first of all, the question,
Yeah.
how do you come with the idea that 100,000 will be able to solve a district problem? Talking about in the name of bringing the government closer to the people, it does not make no sense. Take for example Musa district or Chairman Bility district. You're talking about a bridge, but our district is not in need of a bridge. Do you know how much it costs to construct a bridge of such magnitude? Maybe more than $1 million. So if you're giving him 100,000, it's a drop in the bucket. That's why the whole thing look like a scheme and a game for the money to end up back in the same people's pocket. Because you are telling me that Les will be the one responsible to implement the project, and that these same lawmakers should go and sit with their constituents and discuss what they need in that district. But you already put a cap on the project before even they could discuss with that district. So who came up with the idea that 100,000 should be given across the board when all projects are not created equal? And now,
So Mong,
yes,
Mong, let me ask you this, man. They can expand on it more. So, are you telling me
yes,
that the Ministry of Labor, or let's say the Ministry of Education or Public Works,
yeah, or rural
you don't
development,
have clear understanding of the geographical setting of Liberia,
yes,
of the road map, road construction, roads that are paved, roads that need to be paved,
yeah,
where bridges are needed,
yes,
and also the education ministry. They don't have a way of understanding that every district, how many schools
are there?
how many students,
Yeah.
how many schools that is needed in a particular district or in a particular county,
Yeah.
based on the size of the people, based on the location of that district. They have no way of knowing as to the road construction, road leading from Sanikole to Yekepa, from let's say from Sanikole to Logatu, so they know exactly roads that are paved, roads that have good pavement, the ones that are not accessible, the one that needed bridges and stuff. So are you telling me that they don't know all of those things and they're going to depend on the legislature to tell them those projects? So what are the functions of those ministries and agencies?
Seku, that's why some people say you should just sell the country and divide the money, right? It's laughable. They're supposed to know all these things. The public work ministry, that's why you have rural development. The rural developments are in the county to pinpoint this important project. And they're talking about they should give them 100,000. 100,000 for what? 100,000 is a drop in the bucket. Matter of fact, when you increase the budget with your so-called magical 46 million you found out of the blue sky, you said you were increasing in the public public investment sector of the whole budget, right? You got a recovery expenditure on the public investment side. If you're going to add money to the public investment side, then why are lawmakers you are earmarking? Because I know when a lawmaker goes to Congress to lobby for government money to come to his district, they got to be specific project that must be approved because all projects are not created equal, right? Let me give you a typical example. Say a school is broken down in River Cess, or high school that need to be renovated. But Chairman Bility needs a bridge between two districts in Nima County. Which one you think is of the highest magnitude? Chairman Bility district, right? As compared to a repair of a regular high school. So how can you give Chairman Bility 100 grand and give a high school 100 grand when you find the weight of the project economically, financially, they're not even close to being the same? It does not make any sense. But the problem is the executive is not even effective in executing your own responsibility, because if you will know which road needs to be fixed, which district that road is in, whether they need a healthcare facility, whether the schools needs to be repaired, government school, they got a list and everything. Even when it comes to maintenance of a bridge, they're supposed to know that, but there is nothing.
So, Mo, the same question. Mo, the same question. I want you and Steve to stay respond on this. So, what is the function of the executive in the respective counties? where you have superintendent,
Yes.
you have development superintendent,
Yes.
you have city mayors. If the legislature are going to be the one doing this job, what is the functions of those people now, as far as the executive is concerned?
Mr. Kane, to be quite honest, there are two major signals these guys are sending. The first major signal is Chairman Musa Bility made it clear here that the executive think they're stupid, that they should sit on the side and they be allocating PB money for the other thing. Basically, what they're saying here is this: they don't trust Joseph Boakai and government. That's the first thing. That either they don't know what they're doing or whatever it is, or whatever money they're allocating, they need to get a share. Bottom line here, whether you like it or not, the legislature put this money in here to be corrupt. Let's leave all the different story that we're giving. Because, and that's why I ask him this radical question. Since you want to insert yourself in this thing, which is unconstitutional, which should not even be done in the first place, but since y'all want to take on the responsibility, if the people don't get the money, they should come to y'all. I think it is fair.
But the people are not going to get any money.
Yeah, but if the people don't get the money, then I mean, guess what? They can go to the legislature and house. They can go to the look. Let me say this, Mr. Kennedy.
No, we can't say that. No, nobody can go to anybody's house.
That's the question I'm asking.
Yeah.
No, because at some point, let me be honest. At some point, this thing needs to take a trend wherein there will be.
Let me tell you why we can't even encourage that. How many people went to Samuel to a house for misappropriating $25 million?
And that one will kick them out.
How many people went to Jowia's house?
And that one will kick them out.
Yeah, but I'm telling you now. So that means nobody should go to their houses. People will wait for them during election time and they will kick them out.
No, I'm following the new rule order.
I'm telling you now. So if you think the remedy for that is to wait until time to kick them out, then you kick them out, you vote them out. But when you let me tell you something. When you said people should go to their houses, that would be almost taking the law into your own hands.
No, I followed the chairman recommendation. Remember, chairman. Remember the United Party chairman. Look, let me tell you something. Business will not be as usual in that country. We are following the chairman Luther Tappe recommendation. Look, I'm not speaking out of vacuum here. I'm not speaking out of my own idea. The thing what the chairman say, that the thing what we found, the chairman is on record. He said, so send the Labrador to go to Joseph Boakai house, and now that Joseph Boakai identify a new project, send that the lawmaker decided to insert themselves, let the people go to the lawmaker.
Should we follow the chairman Luther Tappe ideology?
Yes.
How many people we have seen going to Joseph Boakai house to tell us about what happened to the 41 million?
Oh, that won't pass.
5 million. And to 360,000. How many people went to Chairman Luther Tappe house?
I agree with you.
So all the people then, let me tell you something. We are on the radio. People respect us. People listen to us. People believe in us because we speak truth to power. We don't want to actually buy into the stupid ideology or craziness that is continuing to play with the Liberian people. We're not going to actually be the one for them to be their pepper in our mouth. Joseph Boakai is the president of Liberia. The executive supposed to know their responsibility and what to do when it comes to governance, when it comes to development of project, whether it's agriculture, whether it's education, whether it's public works, whether it's any other environmental protection agency, all the other things that you're talking about, all of those people, they should have project and project proposal, they should have procurement, they should have document explaining line by line as to what they're going to need, what's going to be needed for their respective developmental agenda. That's why you have the budget of the country. The budget will tell you how much is allocated to the Ministry of Public Works based on project proposal by the government. what they want to implement and how much it will cost them. So they're confusing everybody here.
Seku, the
Yeah.
bottom line is everybody, what sending your to us is exactly what everybody is doing. They are telling the Liberian people that the executive is not effective and we don't trust them. The bottom line is we want our own money. That's the bottom
So
line.
they take the money, let everybody
Just
get their
share the
own.
money because we know the executive is corrupt and incompetent. So we want our own share. That exactly because look, let me, if you read the communication, they may not say that without exactly what they're trying to say. What they are trying to say is, you know how the government works, how the system works, the whole operation of the executive and it comes to the budget, how you can earmark project for particular development. That's something the executive is supposed to know. We don't need lawmakers' job is not to come out to play the role of the executive. They know that. What they are technically saying is, we know how much you're going to steal from the Liberian people at the executive. You are not effective. You are not going to do the thing you're supposed to do. So, in order for us to avoid the confusion, just give us our fair share. But all these projects they are made out of disguise. Because let me tell you, the reason why they took it from 30,000 to 100,000, that's why I told you it's the biggest scam. Because the justifiable reason was we were able to identify an additional 46 million. So this time around, the 30,000 is a drop in the bucket. We are upping it to 100,000 because we gave you additional 46 million. You see the game cycle? But they know that for some project, 100 grand is nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. So who needs 100,000 when you get a litany of challenges in your district? Matter of fact, you make an assessment before budgeting it. Who come up with a budget before you can even tell the district?
That you know what? And then the question I asked.
Yeah, but Mr. Kanye,
Why will you ask yourself? Why will you put a cap on it without even knowing the project?
Even the example of trying to identify students to help them. How many students will benefit from 900,000 in your district? How many? That means you are not. That means you are saying you are not fair. You are not doing it on an equilibrium. It's not balanced. And Mr. Kanye, I agree with you that we are on the radio. I was just trying to provide a typical example of how these guys are thinking. You know, and the statements they make as national leaders. This particular thing.
Steve, I'm not continuing with you. Continue. You know, the thing is, people take us seriously. Sometimes we are joking on something. Sometimes when you're being somehow satirical, when you're being somehow, you know, trying to play fun with those guys and give them their own word for them to eat it. Some people don't see it that way. People see it as your own word. People see it as the TV say X, Y, and Z. People not seeing it that you're being somehow, you're being somehow satirical and being, playing fool out of those guys for them to eat their own words. But people not see it. Like people gonna say Steve said this. This is what they say on SKTV. So we gotta be very clear where we are. We're not going to follow their funny behavior, funny thing they do. We take it real to the Liberian people. We tell them the truth. What we know, what is workable, we tell them. What is not workable, we tell them. That's the point I'm trying to make sure that what you were saying, that's not you saying it. You're just trying to make sure, to inform the people that this is the kind of people we have, and this is the kind of ideology they bring to the table.
Yes.
And, we are telling you who they are. But people will not see it that way. People will see, okay, Steve the one was saying it. Especially the way that you're looking right now. Musa was very clear. Musa said he got small boy in the position. Nobody voted for them.
They commanded millions.
Their budget is millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Then you're complaining about we getting 100,000. It means that it's seeing the Chinese buffet mentality that Mong always talk about.
Yes.
Whatever they can fit, take whatever they can fit in your bowl, take it. Because it's here, if you sit down, other people are going to finish it. And nothing going to happen. Nobody going to hold them responsible. Not even the voters. In fact, no voter know about these people. Nobody care about them. Nobody voted for them. So if they're going to take the money and go free, what about us that people voted for? So they're allocating some money for themselves. But the only caveat in the whole thing is they are telling you that the cash not going to be delivered to them. Now, there where the problem going to come from.
Yes.
If they are saying, for example, Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Education, Ministry of this, Ministry of that, those ministers and directors managing director, and this and that. If they are the one going to be implementing those projects, that means the same money that they said going to go to them, going to go through the same people again.
Exactly. So what put your need to it?
So why put your name to it if at all you're not going to get the money directly?
Exactly.
You're not going to have no direct access to the cash. So what is the problem? That means
unless they're telling us.
That means you're creating an avenue wherein you're going to put the money there, pass it through there, you go get it.
Exactly.
And they could now go down and present some shady project that will never happen or that is not happening. You know, like we have it right now with the Noka Hitch in the mud. They allocated millions of dollars without even the budget being passed. And people, they started working. They got some of the money. In fact, SKTV is informed that the kickbacks, I think we'll talk about that one another day. All the money then what you saw, they say from this district, from this road here, from this town here to the other town, this is how many kilometers? And then $100 million, I mean $100,000, $500,000, $700,000, Steve. You know what we're hearing now? Based on our information, the kickbacks they're getting more than the money that they spend.
Yeah. So they carry the numbers up.
Yeah. So let's take for example, where they tell you say 500,000, that means the actual money that they're going to spend that money maybe will be around 100 or 150,000. The other 350,000
they count to them
among themselves and people then who they awarded the contract to.
Yes.
So they tell the people and say, this is what the contract was. You know, it's going to be 100,000, but we're going to give you 500. But in that 500, besides your actual project money, 100,000, the other 400,000, you're going to give out 200,000. The other 200,000, you can share that one between you and your people.
Can you imagine?
So they're getting more money from those supposedly projects than the money going to be infused into the project itself.
You see, everything we've been saying in this show, Chairman Bility validated exactly where we've been saying that there are two things that are taken into consideration in Liberian politics that every move or decision that has been made in government reflects. Too many people are not paying attention, and too many people are too dumb to understand the game we are playing.
Yep.
That's why I keep asking. I said, if the Ministry of Finance Development and Planning, including the LRA, the two arms of the government that are charged with the responsibility of generating revenue, couldn't identify 46 million, how our lawmakers were able to come out with 46 million. The 46 million is not actually a real number. It was just disguised so as to give themselves extra money for kickbacks. Now, this so-called district development fund is just one of many schemes that is set up to get the money back. Because Chief Justice Senator told you the whole playbook. Her revelation tells you everything. We want our share. You are going to be corrupt. The budget is fixed. It's fake. It's not you are not going to implement most of these projects. That is why the extra 46 million just go back to see how they allocated it. We're only focusing on the 13.3 million, no, in the name of a district development fund, but I just one segment of their scheme. There are so many ways, and now that is why they confuse you. They're telling you that you should go to your various constituents and come up with project, right? Before coming to the oversight committee that will be spearheaded by Thomas Fowler. It's just common sense.
So,
first of all,
Mark,
yes.
The funnier question, let me ask the three of you.
Yeah.
Now, they say legislative development fund, whatever project, whatever it is.
Bringing government to the people.
Okay. Now, you have X number of districts in every county. You have X number of, you have two senators in every county. So all the districts within the county are represented by district.
Yes.
All the district people are going to get money. So what the senator are getting money for now?
Yes.
If all the district are already covered, you pay attention to this.
Yeah.
I know they're not going to let this question.
Yeah.
The district are already covered. The entire
Yeah.
country is represented by a representative or district. So that means if you're going to be taking the actually to the people,
It reflects the whole
based
country.
on development, every district is already represented. They already get their money. They already get
Yes.
somebody representing it, and those districts are within the county.
So why
So
give the
why the county then getting extra 300,000 for?
No, so
Because
they are giving the two senators one.
So it means that the two senators will get their money for free because
They're
and then
definitely
the
getting
people
their share.
now, which district or what kind of the whole thing is all about putting money in the people's pocket.
Mr. Kane, you making it to sound good and say putting money in the poor pocket. They are corrupt. Let me that be the book.
No,
The
when
people are corrupt.
the people can will ask them more questions, then the people determine whether they are corrupt or they're not corrupt.
No, no, Mr. Kane.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. We have the people coming here to talk to us. We will ask them the right question. We will ask them the relevant questions, and then the people will determine. The people will determine. The people that voted for them will determine whether or not they are corrupt. But we don't want to call them corrupt. We don't want to call them names before even judging them. Let's listen to the people first. Coming to SKTV and other media platform is that you are coming to the court of public opinion. The juries are the people. You, myself, we are the prosecutor. We just ask the tough questions. The people are the judges in the jury. The people will decide whether or not they are corrupt or they're not corrupt. All we do is to ask them the right questions.
No, look, the way I know the people don't do what is right. Look, the way I know the people don't do what is right. Here's the thing. The first step they took is the people that they put in authority. Let's talk about the political affiliation. Let's scrutinize the people that they put in authority. Can you imagine? Fanatic cover that speaker. Can you imagine Thomas the speaker? Then you get the other guy, where's the main chairman and he was the main chairman from the CDC. And we complain about CDC. That CDC government was corrupt and everything emanated from the host. And I won't complain about how do you bring the same people in leadership? And then you say they will do better or they will change. Your leader story. Your leader story. Look, let me tell you something. The game has not changed. The player has not changed. And so we'll even get worse. You know what the Ghanaians have done? They have gone to 2.0 of what they did in last legislature. Then you get Youngly. Look, we're not ready yet. And until we can tell our people, let's say our duty is this. Yes, the move is not the right move, but our duty is to inform you whatever you want to do with the information on your business.
Exactly.
Our role is to tell you that these guys are pissing on your head and tell you say raining. That's what they're doing. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
You're like anything you want to do, you do it. Look, anything you desire to do with support, if you desire to keep quiet with the information.
Yeah, so I really want Mon to react to that particular part of it. So all the district already covered.
Yes.
And then the senator there too, within the same district, even the senator they live in a district.
Yeah. The senator come from within a district because the district is the whole county.
And the senator and district already covered.
Yes.
So
no,
why they need the extra money?
The senator they coming from heaven, so they gotta get extra money. They're not in the district. They're not living there. Yeah, they're not living there. They're living in heaven. They're not living in the district. They're not in no district. What are they trying to tell us? That the senator
the 46 million at the end of the day, it was just offensive way of getting their fair share of the budget so that they can control everything and come back to them. Now, if you go to the very latest website, first of all, in the document, Seku, they created a gray area so you cannot even tell who is responsible for what. Let me just read what their own document said. Listen, Seku. They said the Library Agency of Community Empowerment lays a start with implementing this project with oversight responsibility dedicated to an appointed oversight committee, right? Led by the Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala for the House of Representatives. The implementation project is set to proceed, including project planning, procurement, oversight to ensure the project are completed by December. Accordingly, LAYS will construct or undertake projects in the district or county that are only designed and approved by the district representative. The representative or senator, in consultation with his or constituent, will discuss the approved project and such be will be submitted to an oversight committee for onward submission to list again. For the House of Representatives, the chairman of the oversight committee is Deputy Speaker Fala. The Deputy Speaker and member of the project oversight committee were appointed by Speaker Fanati Kofa to ensure that lawmaker project implemented to the ladder, standard and worth the money value. The return of the lawmaker will kick off their processes, including the design of the project, the procurement, and the bidding process. Now, if you are telling me that you must go to your district to go and come up with the idea and design your own project, why you are telling me Thomas Fala and his committee will be the one to design the project again? You see the confusing part? So technically, list is just like a layer, one layer to the corruption. They will not be the one. It was structured in a way that the money will end up back in the pocket of the lawmaker because that was the true intention.
Mom, they only put list there so that they can make it look like they're working with the executive, but that's can't list do nothing. But here's something that's interesting. In terms of talking about money, the 30 lawmakers, because they're 15 each. The 30 lawmakers, that 15 countries,
the 30 senators.
The 30 senators, if each of them receiving 150,000. No, if each of them receiving 150,000 a year, each of them. If you look at that money for a year, because the chairman said here that it will be yearly per the budget. So if every year the country will be spending 4,500,000. If you times that by 6, the country will be, the lawmaker will be walking away with 27 million. The senators there. That one another pay.
That one the representative you're talking about.
No, that's the senator there.
That's not here. That's not says here. That's not here.
Oh, I took 6. Let me go back. I saw that 9. Your way, my people. Your way. Your way. Me calculate it here. That money better we talking. We can what it call. So times 30. Okay, times 9. I took on what? 40,500,000 in 9 years. That what it will be. That one not even part of the pay. It's not part of the benefit, It's not part of the extra setting fee. It's not part of the corruption, other thing, what it will be getting on other form of it. The bank envelope there, not even part of that year. This one is just what they will be walking away with each of them for 9 years. Are you serious?
Yeah, but if you look at that too, they will tell you, say, we don't want got elected. We don't want representing the people. If we can collectively get that, what about the ministry and agency then? Some of them are getting 15. Let me tell you something. People that are serving in other positions, some of them getting extra 10,000, 15,000 here and there monthly. Monthly. That's not in the legislature. Beside their pay. We told you here, the same people, the same group of people, like the players are still the same. What they did, they wouldn't change players. The other team is in, the other team is out. But they all play the same way. They all play the same game. And they play on the same field. Same referee. Now, see, I know you're the referee now saying now that we tired now watching you enjoying yourself. We too, we are the referee, we need our share of the pie. Steve, the money the legislature are looking at, they know how much is in there for NSA. That those bucket will go take and put in their pocket. They know how much money that the people can get from commerce, from finance, from maritime, before even the money can make it into the Liberian revenue agencies coffer. Before it can be deposited in the Liberian government account. They know. It's like they feel like this, they didn't get anything. This is too small for them. It's all about elephant meat. Liberia is the elephant meat. The only way for you to have your share, just try to be in government, whether elected or appointed, just be in government, then you will get your share of the pie. So the fight is not about Liberia anymore. It's not about development. It's about, but we all in it here, how you will get more than me. Plain and simple. We have a long way to go.
For sure.
We have a long way to go. That's why I got to tell you, man.
That's the bottom line. You can kiss it goodbye. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, but
So
you know, yeah,
that mean the rescue team just upgraded from what Joe Weather used to do from 30
yeah,
to take it to 100.
Yeah.
100, 150.
Yeah. So that mean well, like Chairman Musa,
You know tomorrow. Steve, you know what? Tomorrow we're gonna have the senator here from Apollo. I mean, refugee, and he's gonna come to Truth FM office tomorrow. I know the show tomorrow will be really hot, and Liberian people are excited and really want to understand because the senator said he's going to come and tell us
Yes.
detail as to how they arrive at the extra 46 million.
$46 million.
And it's not like something they're setting themselves up for a budget shortfall.
Yeah.
It's going to be, it is realistic,
Yeah.
it's achievable, and it is in there. It is within their reach. So they're trying to justify the $13 million that are going to them. And, maybe the senator will help us understand other things because what happened to all our Liberian people, y'all read the budget.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have question tomorrow to ask. But sometimes it's difficult to ask question when you're sounding like an ignorant. If you're asking question, if you are asking your question from an information perspective, you sound like a smart person and you make sense. And nobody just can lie on you, lie to you, and just go.
Yeah.
But if you don't read the budget, you don't understand it, anything they will sweet mouth, they will talk sweet talk, speak BB book, you leave confused.
But that's why
you're going to say, yeah, but I want to message.
SKTV, yeah, we play different for the people.
Yeah. So, Steve, I don't know, you a monk.
That's why when Friday comes, when they don't show, I can really get pissed for them.
Man. Like yesterday month, zero.
Ain't nothing going to fly here tomorrow with us senator. First of all, I know the senator lives in the district within your own county, and all these districts will be allocated with their 100,000 that will be appropriated in the budget. And I don't know why we're giving additional 150,000 if he lives in a district that will be benefiting, because I know whether it's bridge or roads that will be constructed in his district, the lawmakers in his district already finished.
Don't scare the senator for
and the fair play you put for your more. You got to tell all we district he lives in why he should be giving an additional 150,000.
Let the man come. You see me, I'm not talking too much. Don't make it a man. Because remember the other representative that sort of come that time. Soon we started talking BBT there. From that time, no say we heard from the representative. And of the representative, I know they follow over baby chief.
I told you.
Waiting for you.
I told you, don't scare, don't man come in. You will come here. You come in. You can do that. But you know what? Okay, you're on your own.
Yeah. So representative, everything. Senator, everything Morgan say we take it by year.
Please show up tomorrow.
Yes, I will take it back.
Yeah, man. I mean, maybe, man. Maybe I sent you a message. You saw it? Oh,
yeah, I saw it in my Allah. I saw it in my Allah. Sorry, though. Really cool.
Good, right?
Yes, indeed, the cool really giving me a hard time, so I'm not able to participate too much. But I'm really enjoying the entire discussion. The only thing I have few questions.
But you go learn.
Oh,
which one again?
I mean, don't can't discuss the man stuff in public, man.
Yeah. And that probably you can do.
We're not talking about people. Yeah, they're talking about small pepper bread. Now you go.
So you see, Philip Morris. Philip Morris job.
You not put ear in there. They asking the man.
But the problem the thing learner. I like you have on the man. The thing they get through.
Steve Bole man ear.
Yeah, you put ear in there. Let it open.
Yeah, but the man.
That is the President Monk. Don't man Steve for President Monk. Steve, if I Steve make even the baby just answer me. Well, Uncle Steve, I said, don't worry.
Yeah.
Uncle Steve, no politics.
Uncle Steve, yeah, the baby one.
I mean, don't make me expose you.
The baby one you want to hear from Uncle Steve, right?
Yeah, don't make me expose you. No, Segun, if I discuss on internal issue then that we went in committee room, I will bring it outside.
No, forget it. No, forget it. You know why?
But then take it
We
back.
will defend our budget.
Take
We
it
will
back.
defend our budget. Forget it.
Take it
Let's
back.
shine the map. I mean, no, I'll take it back. I'll take it back.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take it back.
Steve,
So,
Steve, remember your other Steve.
yeah, no, he's my associate. So,
You want to
You know what you will ask people to watch out for? Moving forward, you know what I want for to watch out for? They just watch your budget performance and you will know exactly what's going on. And all the
no, but just see Philip Morris or comment. They only change their jersey. And look, that was for me, one of the liberal politicians and the system is just that to just enrich people. For hard and get into the system, you get money, you get rich. That's just it.
I know we got 4 more minutes before Melbourne there, close to
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
so today I'm talking plenty.
One minute, you can answer the question here. That you have Steve. See, Joseph Boakai signed a budget before leaving the country. Joseph Boakai now coming to Allah sign a budget after arriving in the country. What kind of lying business is this?
Yeah, that's deceptive.
Why are they deceiving Lebanon people always? Steve and Monk.
Because people are not
Why
paying
are
attention.
they something before we go?
Yeah, because people are not-
Why do you continue to do that?
Mo, go ahead. After you, I will say something. I will say what I gotta say clearly here.
for me, a number of psychologists, I keep saying this show, there are 2 things you experience in life. They call it, they got it. I told Steve the last time, they call it the pain and the pleasure threshold. When you are in pain, you want it to end as quickly as possible. When you are in pleasure, you want it to keep going for the longest. The politician, they got the best business model in Liberia, where you got less accountability. You can come from nowhere and become stinking rich in a relative short period of time at the expense of poor people that are not paying attention, that will not hold you accountable, that could care less about what's happening in government because they assume their life is normal. You know, the average Liberian feel that the way they live back then, they had the whole world, that what happened around the whole world. Do you know that, Sekou? That the way the government operates in Liberia, that had everywhere around the world, that's the same thing. So if you're in that system, like I gave a typical example, if you can, let me give you, if you are let me say a normally Kanga, where you will be carrying $2 million budget in a year, and you are given 9 years, right? Let's assume that the office, in terms of operating costs, will only spend 40% of that money and 60% will end up coming back to you. Is that something you want to end anytime soon?
Nope.
Yeah, but the average woman that's selling her late banana or selling cold water that want to pay her children's school fees, she praying one day like bro will get a better government so that her life can improve. She wanted to happen fast, but it would never happen for her because the people who control the system, they are the one that want it that way. It's a business model for them. So anybody who come their way, they will crush you. That's why in Liberia, when you are in defense of the people, they turn against it because they have been brainwashed and they barely pay attention to things that's happening. That's it.
One minute, Steve, before we go, before we move on, Lagos.
So the only thing I will say here is all 3 branches of government connive against the Liberian people. And that is the saddest part. For the chairman to even make this revelation that the president knowingly signed the budget before leaving. President signed the budget should be something that the public should know that that ain't a bad thing. Why make it look like that someone a criminal business your own?
Because
Why make it look like it's why saying now? People you Mr. Kane, why make it look sneaky? Why you gotta be making yourself government that play what people can be? You come there with transparency, and seriousness. Everything it gotta be questionable. Why sign the budget Nicodemusly? And then come back. So you come from the airport, then you pretend. I saw Bushy Ben Keita then passing the wrong way. People acting like they're signing it and making it low legit now. When you're finished doing it, why are you playing games with yourself? And you know the one that frustrates me? You can't be at that age and be playing games.
so OBM then.
Yeah, you can do that.
Anyway,
because they were watching the reaction. People
Yeah.
expecting to veto that budget because of what Chairman Bility said. The budget is a joke. If you're in Liberia and you are suffering and things is going bad for you, to believe that things going to get better for you, living in La La Land, it will not happen. Because the way in which your budget is structured will not improve your life. You
All
know
right,
the open. Yeah, that
I
ended.
think we're gonna leave it there.
All right.
For Mibon and the other guy, they are doing some other programs that's going to carry on.
All
So
right.
Steve, I know.
Yeah, we'll put on later. You know that one.
All right.
Yeah, we got to finish the chilling from
You
last
may
night.
want to go upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Wednesday work out still.
Yeah, yesterday I never made it to the hospital. Tonight we begin. Yesterday we went out. Tonight we begin. Yeah, but maybe like 8 a.m. Thank you. I'll have to close it on here. Maybe we do see you today. Folks, y'all thank you.